Louis and his parents show up at the Candria Empire's top Arcanist Academy. They don't even reach the front door. Two noble brats block their way right off the bat. They sneer that commoners don't belong at Arcanist Academy. Just to start something, they shove his mom. Hard, she hits the ground. Louis is ready to snap like a twig and teach them a lesson. His parents stop him. Focus on the entrance exam, they say. Don't throw it all away fighting. So he holds back, no reaction. The bullies look disappointed. They wanted an excuse to beat up a commoner for fun. That chance is gone. Louis makes himself a promise. Once he gets into the academy, he's making those nobles pay. Fast forward to the exam site. Thousands of applicants are already there. Most are older than him. Honestly, that doesn't bother him at all. Principal Smith appears. The entrance exam starts now. First test. Climb the stairs guarded by the academy's seniors. The passes are behind those guards. Only 1,000 applicants will pass. First come, first served. Once the passes run out, the exam ends. He begins the exam. Every kid runs up the stairs. They think this is easy. Suddenly, one evil senior stands up. He's about to introduce everyone to hell. He releases something dark, something red. It bursts through the applicants, terrifies them, sends many to the ground. Their numbers echo in the air. Disqualify. The kids behind are confused. They don't understand what just happened. Louis knows exactly what it is. In the middle of the chaos, our hero walks forward. He tells everyone it wasn't an attack. The senior just released his aura to scare them. Weak minds stumble from fear. The senior instantly notices our boy. He sees Louis is different. He is backbone. But plenty of talented people exist. The senior wants no commoners mixing with them. Our boy immediately hates this bully. The senior says since a commoner is here, he will make him feel it. He unleashes more aura, bigger and scarier this time. Weak applicants feel pain and fear, but for Louis, nothing. He stands on the stairs, smirking at the senior. He thinks this killing intent is weak. Good for scaring ordinary people, but for him? He has seen the world's cruelty. He trained hard. This is nothing. Our boy unleashes his martial arts and rushes up the stairs. He counters the senior's terrifying aura with strong-minded abilities. Anger burns in him. He wants to show the noble's true killing intent. He flies straight toward the senior. He makes a punch-like gesture. Every other applicant watches in shock and horror. Even the senior is confused. How can a commoner bypass his aura? Right before hitting his face, Louis stops his punch. Look at that. The senior is sweating. Everyone gasps. Amazed this 13 or 14-year-old possesses so much power. He withstands the senior's killing intent. He even throws a punch at him, all without using any magic. Our hero does not care about their astonishment. He passes the senior and grabs his exam pass. He mutters he is just too tired of this. The senior hates the disrespect. He immediately gets enraged and throws another punch at Louis, but at the very last moment, Louis stops it cold. Again, now the senior is just scared and confused. A commoner blocked his smash without even touching magic. Right then, Principal Smith steps in. He announces Louis is the first to pass. Then he reminds everyone that at Arcanist Academy, noble or commoner, it does not matter. Everyone is equal here. Hearing that, the senior bows. Even Louis nods. The principal walks right up to Louis to congratulate him. Suddenly, he clocks our hero's hair color. He says it is pretty concerning. But he will not say why. Louis hates hearing that. Instant alarm bells. Still, he keeps his cool and asks what that means. The principal cuts him off, leans in close, dead serious. He says if Louis gets in, he will personally make a magic potion to hide those unique traits. Our hero does not get it. For a second, he thinks the principal is just messing with him. He checks himself over. Whatever, he will deal with that later. Right now, he needs to focus on the second test. Louis just walks away, leaving the principal standing there. That noble he beat earlier is nearby, absolutely fuming. The principal never steps into exams like that, and he did it to protect a commoner. The noble swears he will get revenge for this humiliation. Fast forward a bit. Everyone who passed gets led to the second training ground, this indoor arena. Out of 20,000 examinees, only 1,000 are left. most are nobles with elite training. Almost no commoners remain. Louis is walking behind the group when someone bumps into him. Another noble bully. He sneers, "Nobody is helping you next time." He throws in some trash talk. Louis stays calm. No reaction. The lackey adds that if Principal Smith had not stepped in, Louis would be disqualified. Louis actually responds this time, calls the noble an idiot. He says Principal Smith has way better judgment than low-level trash like them. The bully hates that. Threatens to knock Louis out. Louis just smirks. That makes the noble furious. He swings a punch right at Louis's face, but at the last second, Louis moves fast. He hits a precise martial arcane technique. Sends a shock through the bully. Meridian severance. A spiral point strike disrupting his body's flow. The noble goes flying like a stupid parrot. Brutal. The other bullies rush over. Everyone is watching now. The beaten noble struggles to stand up. He cannot feel his arm. His body barely responds. Pure panic. He screams that Louis used poison. Threatens to report him immediately. Louis calmly calls him foolish. No poison. Just martial arcane. Honestly, Louis is holding back. He promised his mom he would not cause trouble. But he has limits. Bully him and you face this or worse. Louis believes one simple rule. If you dare hit someone, ... you better be ready to get hit back. He raises his fist again. Suddenly someone grabs his arm. Stops him. Guess who? It is the cool golden bow, Kane. Kane says they are still testing. They need to behave. Keep fighting and Louis gets disqualified. Those words snap Louis back to reality. Louis yanks his arm back. He shoots Kane in an annoyed glare, then turns away. Kane faces the shouting bullies. One cold stare shuts them up. He tells them to back off. They retreat, quiet but still furious. Louis watches Kane. He figures Kane is just another noble throwing his weight around. Then Kane speaks. Strong and brave, he says. He actually suggests they team up. Before Louis can even answer, a horde of girls rushes Kane. They beg him to join them. Total fanboy moment. Soon, even the guys crowd around. Louis takes it all in. No time to think though. A tornado whips up in the arena center. Principal Smith appears inside. He announces the second stage, a power test. Brace yourself. A strange glow burns on their chests. Everyone looks down, totally confused. Kane instantly knows Earth attribute ability. Then, crushing weight hits them. Their bodies feel impossibly heavy. Many collapse. Even Kane grits his teeth, fighting to stand. But wait, someone is walking like it is nothing. Kane forces his head up. There goes Louis, calmly stepping toward the stage. Principal Smith watches, surprised but satisfied. Once again, our hero moves first, despite the crushing pressure. He walks like he is free. Most students have 3 to 4 years of martial training. Still, this pain is barely tolerable, and it just keeps getting heavier. Kane feels his bones groaning, so seeing Louis standing there, no training, not even shaking, he cannot grasp how skilled our hero actually is. Principal Smith announces only those still standing move on. He waves his hand. Weapons appear. Grab one if you want, he tells them. Our hero calmly picks a solid sword. Most others struggle just to stay upright, never mind grabbing anything. Next phase begins with a twist. Principal Smith announces bound life forms. Everyone looks confused. Before anyone asks questions, the principal vanishes. Someone shouts to look up. Glowing blue creatures drop from above, landing all over the arena. They look soft, bouncy, like jelly. Harmless, right? Way easier than those seniors. The rules come fast. Hit a slime, 1 point. Dodge it, 2 points. Kill one, 5 points. Rank depends on points. Only the top 100 advance. Some students laugh. Easy, weak. They rush in thinking it is simple, but the moment they strike, the slimes turn aggressive. They move faster, slamming into them hard. Playful look gone. They attack wildly, smashing one student, then another. Panic spreads. Slimes swarm everywhere. Total chaos. Above, Principal Smith and the senior examiners watch closely. One examiner reports powerful family members are participating. We're talking talents from the Aranka family, the Jurahan house. She also flags some shady characters, especially the kid who ranked first earlier. Principal Smith just smiles, says that one is interesting. But the examiner points out Louis hasn't moved at all. They worrying he's falling behind. Everyone else sees it too. They figure he gave up. Wrong. A slime winds up to strike. Luigi just stands there, back slightly turned. He knows exactly what's happening. The slime lunges. Our guy dodges into seconds flat, effortless. How is he moving like that? The slime sparks, hits harder. Now several charge him. Look, Louis did not show up unprepared. Before this, he trained hard, even made his friends throw rocks at him. They hated it, but he needed to test a theory. Back in his previous life, he had this idea: train the mind, send info instantly from the parietal lobe to the cerebellum. Calculate attack paths immediately, react without delay. Constant trajectory calculation, real-time response. He believed he could handle anything, so he stood there, rocks flying, and activated his martial art technique. He calculated every single rock, dodged them all perfectly. His friends freaked out, rushed him. What was that? Louis calls it void combat calculation. They didn't get it, but he knew his theory worked. Now, second exam, our hero activates void combat calculation again. Slimes rush him. He instantly calculates speed and direction. Fast, hard-hitting. But here is the thing. They only move straight, makes predicting angles easy. He shifts slightly, dodges every attack, 8 points in seconds. Then he draws his sword. Force slash. Blade cuts clean through slimes. Splits them apart. More points. Kane watches shocked. Even examiners glance at Principal Smith surprised. They cannot believe Louis predicts movements this accurately. Kane gets excited. He knows now, Louis is no ordinary commoner. He is a true practitioner. Advanced combat skills. Kane wants to team up. It benefits him. Another slime charges Louis, just as he prepares to strike. Someone interrupts. They clash for the same target. Louis frowns. Thinks Kane is stealing his kill. Kane quickly explains. Not stealing from Louis, stealing from others. Then he introduces himself properly, suggests gathering points together. Louis hesitates, trusts his rare here. Kane grins. Suggests a competition. Who earns more points? This gets Louis' attention. He agrees. Loser does whatever winner says. He grits his sword. Says he will show what he can really do. Back to back in the arena. Jealous nobles see a chance. Eliminate the commoner. Score points. One fires arrows at Louis. Louis prepares to counter. But before anyone understands, arrows reach him. The crowd gasps, think he is hit. Louis stands still. Arrows never pierce him. Dare hands. He caught all three. The bullies just stare. Kane immediately asks if he is okay. The archer gets furious. How dare Kane call him disgraceful for fighting dirty? He activates double arrow edge. Fires again. Kane dodges. He slices most arrows out of the air. But one slips through. It speeds right at him. About to strike. Blood splatters. Kane watches in shock. He fully expects the arrow to pierce him. He braces for impact. Nothing. When he opens his eyes, he sees Louis standing there, holding the arrow firmly, hand oozing blood. Louis tells Kane to chill. The attack was aimed at him anyway. Up above, an examiner calls it malicious intent. He asks Principal Smith if they should disqualify the bullies. Principal Smith just says wait, the bullies will eliminate themselves soon enough. He wants to watch. He will deal with responsibility later. Get healing potions ready. He has a feeling Louis is about to break some bones. Our hero asks Kane about baseball. Obviously Kane has no clue. Louis shows him anyway. Another slime charges. He swings his sword like a bat. Thunder flashes along the blade. He smashes the slime hard. It flies right at the bullies. One takes the full hit. Broken ribs. Falls off the stage. Instantly disqualify. Louis does not stop. He rushes the others. They are frozen. Their leader got wrecked so easily. One turns too late. Louis flips over his head. Kicks a slime ball straight into his face. Brutal impact. Smashes his teeth. He flies off the stage. Another one gone. Just one bully left now, sweating like crazy. He has no idea where Louis hits next. Total panic. Suddenly Louis is right behind him. Tells him to turn around. Even now this guy won't apologize. Keeps talking trash. Screaming about how seniors know more, how commoners need to learn their place. He doesn't see the foot. Next second he trips. Tumbles right off the stage. Kane did it. That fall disqualifies the last bully. Kane walks over. Thanks, Lou. Kane sees Louie's hand. The one hurt catching the arrow. It's bandaged now. They high five. Our hero admits Kane is actually decent for a noble. The two keep running. Slimes are chasing them. While they move, Kane tells Louie not to lump him in with those other nobles. He is not like them, explains there are great families in the Empire. He belongs to the Aranka family. Great families produce grandmasters, sages, because of that they hold massive power. Huge influence, sometimes their authority rivals the royal family. The nobility, even the Arcanist associations. These names and titles are all new to Louis. Fascinating, he remembers them while they keep fighting. Cut to the bullies, watching Louis with pure focus. Seeing him fight so well makes them furious. Jealous, they refuse to let some lowborn take their points, so they attack Louis and Kane. Right then, Kane's loyal followers panic. Their young lord is targeted. They rush in to protect him. Chaos instantly explodes around Louis and Kane. These kids came to prove themselves. Now they are just beating each other up. Total free-for-all in the arena. Faye watches nearby. She thinks this is fun. She calls her friend Milian over. Time to challenge the other nobles. Louis keeps dodging slimes with his martial arcane techniques. He sees the students targeting each other now. Higher score means more trouble. He knows it. Then he spots Miliana. She cuts through nobles easily. Faye fights skillfully too. And right beside her, this red-haired kid, Neil Gunn, looks totally insane. He swings a hammer wildly, punches people aside, screaming that beating them is more fun than fighting slimes. He causes absolute chaos, knocks down opponent after opponent in a frenzy. Principal Smith and the examiners watch from above. One examiner wants to stop it. Too many nobles might get disqualified. Principal Smith says no. Watching young talent clash is entertaining. Another examiner argues losing to many nobles causes problems. Principal Smith does not care. He ignores public opinion. He wants to see how this ends. Then, bam. He steps into the arena center. Exam 2 is over. Scores and rankings come later. He drops the earth magic. Everyone gets healing potions. Louis checks out the potion. Even basic healing costs 3 silver coins. Way too expensive for him. Kane sees his face, asks what is wrong. Then he jokes he won't bully Louis even if he wins. Soon, Principal Smith drops the rankings. The nobles look happy. Louis's name is not on the list. Actually, the top 5 completely shattered all previous records. Principal Smith calls the names out separately. 5th place goes to Miliana Rose. Karanka takes 4th. 3rd place, Faye Jurahan. With 8,087 points, Louis grabs 2nd. Kane is absolutely stunned, not just because Louis beat his score, but because no commoner has ever fought like that. Kane takes the loss like a man. He admits he lost the bet and asks Louis what he wants. Louis just says he will tell him after the exam. Then Principal Smith announces 1st place with a record-breaking 8.88 points. It is that same red-haired maniac who was rampaging earlier. Neil is still grinning like he was during the fight. Everyone whispers about how terrifyingly strong he is, especially since he is also a commoner who ranked above even the Jurahan Nair. Miliana looks worried, seeing Faye trembling with anger. But Faye quickly swallows it down. She declares she would love to fight someone that strong. Many seniors are furious that the newcomer nobles lost to mere commoners. The examiner comments that coming in 2nd place is unprecedented since the Academy's founding days. And the kicker is that both of these students are from an orphanage as well. Principal Smith explains that the Arcanist Association runs the orphanage. True strength lies within the masses. It has nothing to do with social status like some people believe. He tells everyone who passed to move to the next venue. As they walk, Kane mentions that Louis was so close to 1st place. He wonders who is truly the strongest between them. Louis, however, is not worried or curious about answering that question. Soon, they all arrive at the Academy's training ground. Principal Smith announces the final exam. Survival test, an emblem battle royale. He starts handing them out. Everyone needs to grab as many as they can. Anything goes. Lose your emblem, you're out. Only the top 10 make the cut. Kane tells Louis they should split up. He warns him. High rankers have targets on their backs. Louis needs to watch out. Louis promises himself he'll survive. He knows they announced those rankings just to stir the pot. Principal Smith just smirks. Show your stuff. Only the best survive. The exam starts. Louis wanders the forest. Admission is right there. He has to win. Someone blocks his path. Some noble NPC charges. Screaming about Louis humiliating them earlier, Louis turns around. Two more bullies rush him. Nobody is coming to save him, but guess what? Louis doesn't need saving. They need saving from him. Brutal. Suddenly Louis spots an archer in a tree. The staff leaked his location. Everyone knows where he is. The bullies attack one by one. He dodges everything. Then he senses something huge coming. He blocks it with his sword. What was that? He doesn't recognize it. The bully charges again, threatens to kill him. Louis isn't giving up. He fights them all. Another massive blast flies at him. He dodges again, annoying. Now this magic arrow shooter, this total NPC, laughs at Louis. Why? Because he isn't using magic. Next second though, the guy gets frustrated. Louis just keeps dodging, but Louis is actually nervous. He cannot calculate that magic's path, so he relies on pure martial arts. He uses Sino-sen, strike before the enemy. Use their own power against them. Right then, the leader orders everyone to attack at once. They all charge our hero. This time, he is ready. He moves through them, dodging one by one. His sword turns their attacks back, making them hit each other instead of him. Even when that guy shoots magic arrows, Louis dodges last second. Another bully takes the hit. He tosses the injured guy like trash. Then uses a spear to nail the guy in the tree. One by one, he defeats them all. Collects their emblems, laughing. Still, one fighter yells to attack again, but Kane takes his bow and drops him. Kane is just sitting in the tree, watching our hero. He notices Louis cannot use magic. The fighters are shocked. Kane should not be there. He reveals he beat them all already. Forced them to spill the plan. The bully keeps shouting. Kane hits him with the bow until he finally shuts up. Kane leaps down. Louis says he is safe. Kane calls them low-level nobles with new magic. Piece of cake. He hands our hero the last emblem. Then he says this keeps happening. It will be too troublesome for Louis. Offers to help. Our hero declines. He says he will handle his own problems. Faye watches the whole thing. She claps, respecting Louis' honor. But she is not here to chat. She gets straight to it. Fight me. Kane whispers. She is the Jurahan Grandmaster's granddaughter. Louis asks Kane, you fought her before? Kane pauses. No, they are not friends. But yeah, they fought. He claims he just let his guard down. Louis immediately calls him out. You lost, didn't you? Kane starts making excuses. Faye cuts them off. Stop the bromance, quit flirting. She challenges him again. Kane warns Louis. She uses magic. Her skill level is apprentice stage, crazy high for their age. He tells Louis to ignore her. Just get emblems. Faye starts mocking them. Annoyed, she says they are running away. Kane is just poisoning Louis' confidence because he knows Louis cannot win. She calls Louis a coward. That hits a nerve. Kane is annoyed too. But Louis steps forward, pride stirred. He says he always wanted to see how a great family fights. Challenge accepted. Faye smirks. She likes his enthusiasm. To be fair, no magic. Next second, she charges, no hesitation, unleashes her secret technique. Lance slam, straight at him. Louis does not move. The lance hits, or does it? Faye smiles. Not because she hit him. At the last second, Louis shifts. He catches the lance against his bicep. Faye pulls back, spins it 360 degrees. That forces Louis to let go. She immediately slams the lance again. Louis barely dodges. Again. Far away, the examiners watch closely. They mention it has been forever since they saw the Jurahan family spear techniques. Faye's speed and strength blow them away. Total genius. But Louis impresses them too. They start betting on how long he lasts. One guy thinks he loses fast. Then they ask Principal Smith, who wins. The principal admits he likes the new kid. But he cannot beat Faye. Battle is body clashing with will. Right now, Louis lacks experience. Back to the fight. Dust kicks up everywhere. Inside, Faye lunges. Louis defends, dodging everything. He finally finds an opening and strikes back. She almost drops her spear. Annoyed, Louis leaps right over her head, landing behind. She cannot believe he dodged everything. Even Cain from the Oranga family could not handle that. Louis does not find it hard. Observe carefully. Everything becomes easy. Faye accepts the challenge. She launches her secret lance technique. Lance Crescent Fall. Louis instantly scans the attack. Spear techniques combine threats, sweeps, defense, and suppression with reach. Pretty troublesome. Facing momentary difficulty, he also notices spear weaknesses. Close combat vulnerability, for example, he just needs the right time. Get close to Faye. Attack. He finds the moment and attacks. Faye instantly dodges. She rushes him, yelling her family lance has no weaknesses. She spins up a tornado with that spear. Crazy talent. The examiners know it too. Even the Jurahan grandmother only learned that at 16. Magic mixed with spear work. Faye dominates everyone. Looks like the buzz lost. But Louis has tricks. Watch this. He throws up a sword net. See? Spears burn crazy stamina. Keep defending perfectly. An opening has to show up. Only problem, his sword is cracking. Louis still fighting drives Faye nuts. Finally, he sees the gap. He lunges, then his sword shatters. Everyone freezes. Faye actually calls it impressive. No broken sword. Perfect counter. Louis just thinks his luck sucks. Faye knows he held back. He apologizes. Bad habit. Likes watching before going all out. Guess what? He watched enough. Faye thinks it's over. Broken weapon. Louis is ready though. Fists work better anyway. They square up. Faye charges. Spinning charge technique. Cain yells to dodge. Take that head on. You get wrecked. Louis just locks in. He stops Faye's spear barehanded. Last second. The examiners are losing it. That attack penetrates defense. Nothing happened. How did he stop it so easily? Principal Smith is speechless. Faye is not done. She kicks to free her spear. She grabs it again. Charges. This time she unleashes a stronger attack striking from everywhere at once. But Louis is locked in, focused. He deflects every single strike with just his hands. Faye is lost. Principal Smith is completely shocked. He realizes our hero is countering that spear technique with some special method he has never seen before. The Jurahan family's spinning spear is world famous. Stopping it like this means the kid is truly extraordinary. Finally our hero attacks back. He forces Faye to step away. She is pissed. She demands to know about that strange technique. Our hero just tells her straight up. It is simply part of his martial arts. He adds a twist right at contact to cancel the spear's rotation. Faye has no idea what he is talking about. It goes right over her head, so our hero moves toward her. He says he will show her instead. He starts shifting everywhere. Faye tries to track him. Cain watches from afar thinking it looks like an illusion. Louis moves like a butterfly in flight. Faye feels like Louis is right in front of her. Yet, every time she attacks he is already somewhere else. He almost seems to be flying. Our hero is determined to demonstrate his style. This technique is called the butterfly step. Elegant footwork inspired by a legendary boxer. Rapid light movements, unpredictable rhythm. Perfect for fighting Faye. Our hero finally sees another opening and attacks Faye. He punches her. Sends her flying backward. Cain watches from afar. He cannot believe his eyes. Even Principal Smith thinks it is unexpected that Louis can deal such heavy damage to Faye. The examiners note that even without magic, the examiners are thinking, almost nobody beats Faye in pure combat. Maybe this kid really is a hand-to-hand genius, but Faye is furious. She is not done yet. She gets up, yelling about her great family and unbreakable spirit. She cannot lose this easily. Then she throws her spear away. Louis is confused. Now they are both going close range. Faye rushes him. Louis uses Wing Chun and Pakao to defend against her crushing fist. Still, his defense is not perfect. Faye manages to injure his hand. He just smiles and brushes off the pain. Faye reminds him her family is not weak. Then she unleashes Crushing Fist level 3. Louis is ready this time. He shifts into boxing. They exchange fierce blows. Louis feels exhilarated. Something dark inside him begins to stir. He does not fight for violence. He just enjoys using his full strength. His presence grows intense. He steps right in front of Faye, releasing a dangerous aura. It makes her freeze. She tries to block with her hands, not enough. Louis strikes her, sending her flying into a nearby tree. Principal Smith does not like the look of this technique. Brutal. The other students cannot believe a commoner has this power. Suddenly, one of them feels sick. He starts shivering. That feeling comes from Louis' overwhelming aura. Guess who? These are the same bullies who conspired against him earlier. They are furious. Nobody expected a commoner to be this powerful. The beau who was just vomiting feels sick, thinking they must eliminate Louis now. If the legend is true, then they cannot let him live. From a distance, they watch Louis like he is some maniac, marching, running right at Faye. She is already hurt and exhausted. She barely has time to defend before Louis throws another punch. Sends her flying again. He charges her while she is still down. His power and speed are just on a completely different level. No way she wins like this. He prepares to strike. At the very last second, fearing for her life, she uses her martial arcane to protect herself and counterattack. Boom! The impact sends both of them flying apart. Suddenly, Louis returns to his calm, normal self. He looks down at his injured hands, silently reflects on the power of magic. Kane rushes over, asks if he is all right. Louis says he is fine, though he is not sure about Faye. Just then, the bullies hiding behind the trees step forward. They accuse Louis of losing his emblem, declaring he is disqualified from the game. Louis looks down, realizes his emblem is burned to ashes. Kane immediately steps in to defend him, insisting it was an accident. The bully smirks, says the principal saw everything, so Kane cannot help a commoner cheat today. He steps forward, tells Louis to drop everything, orders him to leave because he is ruining the exam. He even calls Louis trash who should disappear. But Faye suddenly tells them to stop. Everyone turns to look at her. Louis is shocked. She is this injured and still standing. The bully asks if she is really trying to protect a commoner. Warns her she will be disqualified for breaking the rules. Faye does not care about his opinion. She admits Louis earned his point. She was the one who accidentally used magic. She apologizes for it. Kane cannot believe what he is hearing. Degrade Faye, apologizing to Louis. Wow. But Louis apologizes right back. He says he lost control first. He should be the one saying sorry. Faye accepts. She is still mad about losing though, says he forced her hand with that magic. She wants a rematch before enrollment. The bully just laughs. He reminds everyone he has 4 emblems. Louis will not even qualify. Watch what happens next. Faye tears a strip of cloth right off her outfit. Hands it to Louis. That represents the 14 emblems she collected. Just like that, Louis is ahead of the bullies. Before leaving, she teases Kane, tells the bullies weak people should not pass, deserving people should not fail. She refuses to let that injustice happen. Then she lifts her spear, reminds them only 10 people can pass. Her new goal, collect more than 14 emblems. Guarantee her place. Kane grins. He was thinking the same thing. The two of them rush back into the competition. They want more emblems, qualify for the academy. Settle their ridiculous bet. Louis watches his 2 new allies run off, a faint smile on his face. He does not notice Principal Smith and an examiner. They are descending from the sky to speak with him. The principal approaches, calmly explains his emblem got burned. He is disqualified. They will escort him out. Louis accepts this. No argument. Cut to the bully. He clenches his fists, mutters that this is not over. He tells his friend he never wants to see Louis again. But his friend reminds him, if Faye and the others defeat enough opponents, then Louis might still pass. The bully is too consumed by hatred. He cannot think clearly. He starts imagining things. What if an examinee died in an accident during the exam? An accident wouldn't look weird at all, especially not for a commoner. Nobody would even care. His friend totally agrees. He still feels the terrifying aura from earlier. Louis is not normal. Something dark hides inside him. Fast forward. Louis hands over the emblems. He knows his martial arts are strong. But against magic, not strong enough. He stares at the academy. He really wanted to learn here. Fuse martial arts and magic. Right now though, looks impossible. Later that night he leaves. His clothes are trashed. Mom is going to freak. Should he lie? Tell the truth? He doesn't even see the guy in the hoodie pass him. Brace yourself. Louis is distracted. The hooded ninja stabs him from behind. Damn, Louis kicks him away fast. The ninja asks how he knew. Louis smells blood from a mile away, especially bloodlust. Another guy shows up. Mocks Louis for being calm. Guess who else is here? Louis sees they are skilled. He needs to go all out. That one watching from afar looks dangerous. The first ninja attacks again. Louis dodges every stab. Smooth. He disarms the guy. Takes the dagger. Knocks him down. The ninja tries a kick technique. Fails again. He jumps back to his friends. Superhuman perception. Advanced combat. Matches the intel. Louis wonders what intel he means. The ninja admits his hand-to-hand is impressive. Impressive for an apprentice anyway. But magic changes everything. The others form up. They fire crossbows and wine magic. Louis barely dodges. Arrows slam him into the trees behind him. Same wind arrows from the bully fight. Things just got real. He uses a breathing technique. Harnesses the Chainsai. Boosts his strength. Awakens latent abilities. He explodes with power and speed. He charges as they fire again. Dodges so fast they lose sight of him. Louis is everywhere. Kicking, rolling through the assault. He is dominating. Then a ninja blocks his attack. Pain shoots through his hand. That dangerous guy from earlier, he is strong. Scary strong. Assassins surround him completely. He can only defend. He tries. But magic arrows finally hit him. Louis hits the ground. The ninjas relax, shooting him wore them out. Surprised a commoner caused this much trouble, way more trouble than an average apprentice, one approaches. He thinks Louis is out. Wrong. Louis opens his eyes and unleashes hell. Drives his fingers into the guy's trachea. Sends him flying. The boss cannot believe it. Playing dead. The oldest trick in the book. Still, the boss is impressed. Kids got composure. Louis aims the crossbow. He asks why the boss does not care his apprentices are dying right in front of him. Boss coldly says he does not care about trash. Louis fires. The boss blocks easily. Not even worry. Then he uses magic. Creates a massive hammer. He says if not for orders, he would make Louis his disciple. Then he swings that giant hammer. Louis blocks last second. Still gets sent flying. While he is airborne, the boss flies up. Hits him again with the magic hammer. Louis crashes hard. Brutal. The boss declares Louis is better than an apprentice, but in the end, Louis is just a beginner. Nothing against a high-ranked fighter. Louis is down. The assassin rushes in. Suddenly he senses something wrong. Dust settles. Louis is in a defensive stance. Shocking. The boy is alive. Pure willpower keeps him going. He refuses to die here. The ninja wants him dead. He makes a massive rock coffin. A martial arcane called the Celestial Hammer. Hurls it at Louis. Terrify. Louis thinks of family, his life, mastering magic. Protecting loved ones, changing his fate. These thoughts surge. Something shifts deep inside. His aura changes. That insane aura rises again. Brace yourself. Instead of defending, Louis attacks. He forces himself to believe he will survive. His giant punch smashes into the ninja's hammer. The sheer force shocks the assassin. Boom. A massive explosion. When the smoke clears, Louis is on the ground coughing. But the ninja is not done. He finds it strange. It feels like he is fighting an equal now. Louis unleashed his true power. The ninja finally gets why someone hired him to kill Louis. Still, he steps forward. He approaches Louis and raises his hammer. Ready to deliver the final blow. Watch what happens next. At the last moment, a lightning tornado strikes. The ninja misses and stumbles backward. Swirling lightning surrounds him. He is confused until it engulfs him, leaving him seriously injured. Louis watches from the ground, confused. As he sees Principal Smith descending from the sky, he is alert and shocked. Principal Smith is delighted to see Louis. He is pleased he suppressed his rampage. He hands Louis a magic potion for strength. Louis drinks it. Finally, the tornadoes stop tormenting the assassin. He collapses to the ground. Principal Smith marches up to him. He demands who has the authority to attack an examinee. The ninja surprisingly shows respect toward Principal Smith, admitting that even a grandmother cannot control a monster like Louis. This attack is just the beginning of Louis's destiny. Suddenly, the ninja explodes right in front of Principal Smith and Louis. Insane, the principal cannot comprehend it. He realizes the ninja died by suicide. It could be the assassin guild. They might have put a bounty on Louis's head. Still, he hopes he is just overthinking it. Meanwhile, Louis stands up, marveling. He is fully healed thanks to that advanced healing potion. He is genuinely happy with the results, even his bones are completely restored. He then asks the principal why he always saves him whenever danger strikes, but the principal replies that he will answer that question at home. At that moment, Louis suddenly remembers something he forgot and panics instantly. Apparently, he passed curfew. His mother must be worried. He dashes toward his house faster than he ever fought against bad guys. Meanwhile, Principal Smith summons a snake-like magical entity called Sky. He orders it to clean up the mess and follows Louis. In the town of Manhwa, northern Candria Empire, outside the orphanage, two gang members are harassing Latella. They ask how much she is really pocketing from the tax money. They plan to swindle her. They even try to mock her face. She insists she is acting in the children's best interests. But the gangsters are relentless and have clearly evil intentions. Just as one man reaches to grab Leela, someone kicks him, blood and teeth fly out of his mouth. It turns out Louis finally came to save his mother. Leela is ecstatic to see him, but then she notices his torn attire and becomes horrified. Before Louis can finish asking if she is okay, she rushes at him. She demands why his clothes are ripped, why there is blood, and why his face is wrapped. Embarrassed, Louis tries to brush it off. He says he got caught on a tree during the exam. She does not believe him. Meanwhile, the gangster who was knocked out rises again. He turns to Louis and accuses him of always breaking the rules. He threatens that they will call a reinforcements to fight him. Just then, Principal Smith steps in to save Louis. He plays it cool, calls it a misunderstanding, and introduces himself. The gangsters see him and freeze. Oh crap, that is a real grandmother. Smith tells them to send his regards to the Lord of the Land. They get the hint immediately. They practically sprint out of there. Smith turns to Ladiella. He needs to talk about Louis. She brings them inside, and the principal spots the weird milestone those nobles were yelling about. Get this, it moves on its own. No magic. He looks closer. Automatic stuff is everywhere, ceiling to floor. Ladiella loves it. She has no clue how Louis built it. But hey, life is easier. She figures Louis must have done something huge for the principal to show up personally. Smith just laughs, quite the opposite. Louis blew past every expectation. Smith has only seen this kind of talent once, in the Gaia scriptures. Back when monsters ruled humanity, one genius appeared. The goddess guided him. He mastered the elements, created martial arcane. 5 years later, he and his crew crushed the monsters, saving everyone from extinction. That victory founded their calendar. Liberation Day. The Gaia scriptures call him the first hero. Ladiella is amazed, thinking about this legend. Louis just wonders why nobody else talks about this guy. Principal Smith clarifies, other scriptures show the hero differently. A man with black hair and black eyes. Hearing that, Ladiella goes quiet. She shields Louis. He is totally shocked by her reaction. Principal Smith adds it is a massive secret, only humanity's top leaders know. Because even though the hero saved everyone, he also fell victim to the madness inside his own heart. He started slaughtering people, murdered his own comrades, an unforgivable sin. Seeing him descend into pure insanity, they erased him from human history. That inner madness became a warning. Hearing this, Louis stares at his hands. He remembers every time he felt himself losing to his own dark desires. Principal Smith stands up. He knows how serious this is. He explains that in every country, anyone with black hair and black eyes gets eliminated immediately. They have to stop that threat from rising again. He turns to Louis, thinks he can fool everyone just by dyeing his hair. Louis's mother, Ladiella, steps forward. She realizes this is about her choice. She admits she told Louis to dye his hair. She wasn't trying to hide him. She just feared something awful might happen. She personally guarantees Louis is a good boy. Louis tells her to chill. He figures if the principal wanted him dead, he would be dead already. He is here for a reason. Principal Smith smiles. Impressive. A 13-year-old resisted his inner madness and even tamed it. He sees a new hero in him. Hearing this, Louis can't help but think about being called a new hero. The principal explains that while the world looks peaceful, that's just surface level. Massive darkness constantly lurks. Watching him in the exam hall, he thought the legends were stupid. He decided to personally guide Louis for humanity's sake. Smith tosses an apple. Louis snags it easy. The principal says Faye and Kane wrecked the final test. Most examinees failed. That means Louis passed. Smith welcomes him personally, offers to train him. Louis is shocked his grandmother trusts him. He asks if he will go crazy like the legendary hero. Smith snatches the apple back mid-sentence. He threatens to personally end Louis if that happens. Savage. Cut to the next day. Louis builds a fence with his foster brother. The brother cannot believe the personal invite from Principal Smith. He keeps calling it an incredible honor. Louis knows better. Yesterday was a warning. He keeps quiet so his brother does not worry. His brother rambles about tuition, uniforms, dorm fees, academy details. Louis only thinks about the first hero. You already know he is wondering how he is connected. He is just a simple noble boy. He remembers how easily the principal caught him. Found the hair dye. Threatened him. Can he even trust Smith? Rewind to last night. Walking with Smith, Louis asked why he let his mom hear everything. He knew she would worry. Smith said she needed the truth, otherwise she is just a burden. Louis hates that word, burden, but Smith warns when his true identity drops. His whole family is in danger. As a mother she must understand, grow stronger. Let him face the real trials starting now. Then the principal flies away. Louis knows the principal is right. He needs strength, lots of it, for everyone. Suddenly, kids swarm him, laughing. Little Lana hugs him tight. Crying, she asks if he will visit. Louis promises he will come back constantly. Maybe even bring some of them home during breaks. This is his home, after all. They make a pinky promise. Louis holds that close. Suddenly, someone calls his name. A fancy butler arrives. He serves the Arcanist family. Young Master Kane wants Louis at their manor. He hands Louis the invitation. It looks legit. Kane wants to hang out before school starts, excited. Louis accepts and steps into the carriage. Fast forward to Candria Empire Harzan. Louis gets out. The butler bows. The Arcanist family is a huge deal. Even the town screams wealth. Louis is not ready for this mansion. His jaw drops. Kane is really from a great family. He is about to enter. Someone yells his name. It is Kane, running over super excited. He almost hugs Louis. We are going to be classmates. Louis congratulates him on that exam scene. Thanks him. He only passed because of Faye and Kane. He says forget the bet. They are even. Kane says no, that is different. Keep the bet going. Louis had the skill anyway. Plus he has Faye's approval. That is rare. They go inside. Maids bow to them. Kane explains they could not really fight during the exam. He wants to spar now, before school starts, to get to know each other. He also says they can help Louis with academy prep and math. Louis likes that idea, but someone interrupts. Kane's mother stands on the stairs. She is furious about her son's company. Kane tries to protect Louis. He says he is his friend. Before he can explain, his mother silences him with a menacing look. Kane is floored. She marches down the stairs hurling insults at Louis. She says she always told Kane to choose the right friends. The Arcanist family gates are not for just anyone. A commoner like Louis is unworthy, an insult to their family. She says Louis should train, aim to become strong. Not hang out with poor commoners. Kane is beyond embarrassed. Before he can respond, she approaches Louis, asks his purpose in approaching her son. She insults him. Money or power. Then she takes out her ring. It is worth a ton of gold coins, could let him live comfortably his whole life. She throws it at his feet, tells him to pick it up and go home. Kane is embarrassed. He speaks up, asks her to stop insulting his friend. He apologizes to Louis, but then he sees Louis crouching down to pick up the ring. Louis says he became friends with Kane because he recognized his ability, and if his mother thinks Kane's ability is worth so little, she should be ashamed of belittling her own son. Kane cannot believe how Louis turned his mother's words against her. She is furious, screaming at the servants to throw Louis out of the palace. The servants rush to grab Louis, but Kane tries to stop them. He argues that Louis is even more talented than him. He reminds his mother that Louis broke past records in the exam. even beat Faye, but his mother does not believe him. She thinks a commoner surpassing the children of great families is unheard of, impossible. She just mocks Kane, thinks his ridiculous lies won't work on her. Kane insists it's no lie. Louis even pipes up, says with him around, Kane can get even stronger. That absolutely sets his mother off. A mere commoner dares speak in front of her. Her screaming echoes through the hall. Then the door slams open. Some mysterious guy walks in. He looks right at Louis. Did he really say Kane would get stronger with him around? Everyone turns. Kane's mother freezes. It's her husband, William, the master of the Aranka family. She stammers his name, rushing over. Says they should leave. Louis will never catch up. William just sidesteps her. He turns to his son, who bows. Louis greets him politely. He feels it. Grandmother William has an insane aura, same level as Principal Smith. His father ignores Louis completely. He asks his son, are Louis's words true? Kane confirms it. Louis's ability blows his own away. William decides to challenge Louis. Prove it. He unleashes this insane aura, pure killing intent. Louis can't breathe. It feels like a lion staring into his soul, tearing him apart. William is definitely trying to kill him. Brace yourself, something crazy happens. Louis feels his whole body ripping apart. Thankfully, his own aura resists William's willpower. That hidden strength shocks everyone. He never expected this from a literal grandmother. Years constantly hunting monsters paid off. He built enough resistance against powerful killing intent. If this is just the start, brace yourself, there is definitely more coming. Louis gathers his aura. He explodes it outward. William actually flinches. To William, Louis is not a scared kid anymore. He is a terrifying dragon facing down his lion. Lion meets dragon. They clash. Kane cannot believe his eyes. His friend has this much power. Louis actually holds his ground. But he hits his limit. Louis collapses, bowing to William from pure exhaustion. Kane runs over. Are you okay? Louis just laughs it off. Tough. That finally makes William take him seriously. William asks why he wants strength. Louis is honest. He wants to protect his family. William says nothing. He just turns to leave. Walking away, he tells Kane his willpower is weak. He needs to learn from Louis. Kane's mother freezes. She cannot believe her ears. She chases after him. She begs him to reconsider. William ignores her completely. Kane sees his mother terrified. He feels bad for a second. Then he pushes it down. He turns to Louis. Time to hit the training ground. Let the fun begin. At the training ground, Kane apologizes. Sorry about my mom. Sorry about both of them. Louis waves it off. He says his dad is extreme. There is not much difference between Louis and Kane. Do not worry about it. Kane shakes his head. That is just life as a high-rank person's son. His father only cares about results. To get recognized, he needs to get way stronger. At this rate, Louis feels more like the Aranka heir than he does. Louis tries to argue. William tested him for Kane's sake. Maybe that is how he shows love. Kane is not buying it. Kane looks up, thinking about his dad. Love always felt different for them. Looking back, he barely left this house growing up, just training, eating, sleeping. He started fighting small monsters when he was even smaller than they were. His dad wanted a great sage, just like Grandpa. Kane kept swinging that sword, over and over, desperate for approval. He did not even know why. But this place, the prison, he watched other kids play with paper planes. He swung swords instead, fighting battles he did not understand. Felt like he needed permission just to breathe. Adults called him young master, but it felt like chains tightening around his neck. The tighter they got, the more he wanted to fight back. He wanted to fly free like a bird. Sadly, that dream is for another life. Right now, he is too weak to challenge his dad. So he follows expectations. He swings the sword to get stronger. It is the only way to break those chains. Plus, his dad graduated from the academy Kane is attending soon. Kane wants in. He wants to get stronger. Finally gain freedom. He pulls his sword, pointing it right at Louis. He is counting on Louis to help him become the best. Louis accepts instantly. Cut to William watching them fight from afar. He asks his butler about that investigation. The butler drops some intel. Louis is definitely not ordinary. During the exam, he used these mysterious combat techniques. Nobody had ever seen them before. He shattered past records. He even beat Faye without using magic. And Faye was using magic. Plus, the principal holds him in high regard. Apparently, Smith fought the Assassin Guild last night just to protect Louis. Damn. William realizes Louis is no ordinary kid. He is a massive troublemaker. The butler asks, "Did you already know? Why let Kane befriend him then?" William has other plans for his son. Troublemakers attract danger. When people face challenges, they overcome them. They grow stronger. He believes Kane might level up through experiences around Louis. Cut to the fight. Louis easily beats Kane hand to hand. Kane finally draws his sword. He tells Louis to come at him with full power. Watching from a distance, William quietly appreciates his son. Kane has a better eye for people than he thought. Kane lunges at Louis using his martial art wind lunge technique. Brace yourself. Louis defends himself. He throws a punch so close to Kane's face. Kane does not even realize Louis is counterattacking. Louis lightly touches Kane's face. Only then does Kane realize what happened. Louis comments that accelerating magic with magic is good. But Kane's movements are too linear, too predictable. Kane cannot believe it. Even with magic, Louis countered him easily. That is when he realizes, Louis beat Faye. But Louis falls into deep thought. Kane asks what is up. Louis asks him, "You ever feel like something is off with how you fight?" Kane says hell no, these are secret Arcanist family arts. His dad and granddad mastered them. Got strong. Louis shakes his head. That is not it. He thinks Kane has a different path. Not his dad's, not his granddad's. Kane cannot believe his ears. Louis drops his sword. He grabs a dagger from the weapon inventory and turns to Kane. "You want to shock your old man. Watch what happens next." William sees it. Both Kane and Louis suddenly jump. They rush straight at him. No warning. Rewind a few minutes. Louis gives Kane a quick martial arts lesson. Speed is everything. It is the ultimate weapon. Not just running fast, reaction time, quick choices. He thinks about Kane's second exam fight, that natural speed pairs perfectly with his brain attribute support magic. But thrusting techniques are brutal to master. Just because Granddad did it does not mean Kane has to. Louis hands him to daggers. He explains Kane's father stopped improving. He limited his talent just copying the style. Kane does not need to make that mistake. To use his talent, he must change his combat style. Louis asks, "You ready?" Kane loves it. He says Louis is not like other nobles. He will do anything for freedom, even learn new tricks. They laugh. They even share cigarettes, planning to attack Kane's father. Show him Kane's skill, show his determination. Just like that, they both lunge at William. Kane hits the wing magic turbo, and they both rush him. The butler's freaking out because William isn't moving, but William tells him to stay quiet. Right as Kane's about to connect, William just calmly blocks and dodges. He does the same to Louis. Louis keeps pouring it on, thinking daggers are the fastest, most maneuverable weapons. He wants every bit of that advantage. Skill plus butterfly step. He's trying to outspeed the guy's reaction time and dump maximum damage in 0 time. William's actually a little surprised seeing Louis use the butterfly step, but he still defends and dodges everything. Cut to Kane, using wind magic to leap into the air and attack from the other side. Kane feels lighter with the daggers, almost like a bird. He doesn't just like the new weapon, he loves how the fusion of daggers, combat techniques, and wind magic gives him power and excitement. He even shouts mid-fight that he's finally found his own martial arts path, but William decides playtime is over. He releases his aura, sending both Kane and Louis flying back. Brutal. He's furious Kane abandoned the Arcanist family technique just to prove a point, calling him naive. Kane and Louis quickly recover and prep another attack, using wine acceleration and Louis' speed, but with just one hand movement. Kane's father stops the dagger cold, shoves Kane back, and calls his own son a coward while rushing him. Kane remembers Louis' words, retreating isn't weakness, it's strategy. If you gotta do it, you do it. Kane backs off, just for a second. He resets, then charges his dad again. William reaches out. Bam! Kane uses wine magic like a tiny tornado, flips right over his head. He attacks from behind. Right then, Louis jumps backing. They're both ready to strike. Kane remembers what Louis taught him, a weird baseball trick, the change-up. You mess with the speed, sudden changes, totally throws the opponent off. Do it right. Simple moves kill. 1 second of hesitation. That's all it takes. Speed makes the dagger brutal. They're both doing it. But William, he's ready. He blocks Kane again. He thinks it's just a weak low strike. Wrong. Kane speeds up. Fakes him out. The dagger stops centimeters from William's face. Shocking. Louis is pumped for his friend. He gets ready to attack. Then William just stops. Fun's over. He looks at sweating Kane. He walks off. Tells him not to disgrace the Arranca name. Kane takes it. At least his dad didn't dan the daggers. The butler follows William out. William can't stop thinking about it. Those fast dagger strikes, the quick retreats. That fighting style actually works. A grandmother learning from kids. Crazy. Deep down, he's proud. He'd never admit it, though. Louis thinks sparring a grandmother was awesome. Bummer it ended so fast though. Kane. He is absolutely ecstatic. His dad finally recognized him. For the first time ever. Best feeling of his life, he immediately wants to give Louis a present. Cut to the Arranca family library. Louis sees the massive book collection. Mind blown. He turns around, and Kane is holding a box. Kane hands it over. He says Louis helped him find his path. Louis opens it up. Cold, valuable stuff, rare magic books commoners never see. Studying these will definitely help. Louis picks one up and reads the title. Academy Curriculum Books, divided by year, Basic Magic Theory. Minor Attribute Studies, sections for both magic and martial arts. Kane explains the magic awakening ritual. Every new student needs it. Louis has no clue. Kane tells him it is where you sense elements through the sacred statue of Gaia. Kane did his at the church temple. Even big families pay 10 gold coins. Louis freaks out at the price. 10 gold coins covers years of orphanage expenses. He asks if the academy charges. Kane says no. It is free there. That free ritual is why everyone tries to get in, but other costs exist. Living expenses, books, rental fees, it adds up fast. That is why Kane is giving him this gift. Accept it, no hesitation. Rely on him for money problems. Kane shoves the box into his hands before Louis can even say no. Kane says they are even because of the bet. Louis gets it. He finally takes the box. But man, he seriously needs to make some cash. He heard magic pharmacists rake it in. Are there books on that here? Then it hits him. What if he invents stuff using knowledge from his past life? That could be huge money. He asks Kane if the Arranca family knows the Merchant Guild. Kane says yeah, but why the sudden interest? Louis just says it is a secret. Kane will find out eventually. Fast forward 1 week, entrance ceremony time. Every freshman is walking on eggshells. Louis walks in pumped. The day is finally here. As he passes, this hot senior girl catches his scent. He is wearing the newest trending cologne, super expensive. She figures his parents must be loaded, time to network. She rushes over, introduces herself as Rose from the 150th class, and offers a tour. Louis is down and introduces himself. Rose never heard of Grill. Sounds dangerous though. Maybe he is some noble's illegitimate kid. Walking along, Louis explains the drama. Since the Emperor's garden took over, imperial heirs have been clashing with the Academy nobles. Looks peaceful on the surface, behind the scenes. Students are clawing for resources, pass classes, get credits, you move up. Get targeted or fail, you are expelled. Rose points at Louis. People are watching. Do your best. Then she asks about his family backing. Louis freezes. No answer. She is way too close. Suddenly, someone jerks her hand away. This guy introduces himself as Brian. He congratulates Louis, the commoner freshman who shattered the entrance exam record. Louis plays it cool, greets him politely. Rose realizes she just wasted her time on a commoner. Even with that expensive cologne smell, Louis ignores her. He turns to Brian. Brian says not to mind her. He explains the academy is just a tiny version of the Empire. All kinds of people here. Kane yells for Louise, but Brian bounces off to other students. Tells Louis to call if he needs anything. Louis is confused. Why leave right when Kane shows up? Kane explains Brian is the Chancellor's son. Not a close friend. Faye cuts in, calls Brian decent but weak-willed. Kane gets defensive seeing Faye. They start bickering. Miliana, Faye's sweet friend, tries pulling Faye away to finish registration. Louis thanks Faye for backing him up during the entrance exam. She insists he did it himself, keeps teasing Kane while Miliana drags her off. Kane turns to Louis, shows him a massive pile of coins, his share of the cash. Louis cannot believe it, so many gold coins. Kane says it came from following instructions at Burn Village Trading Company. They sold perfume earlier, that was Louis' secret. Louis explains his new perfume, subtle scent. Totally different from the usual stuff, Kane likes the smell. Worries if it will actually make money though. Louis is confident, and he is right, massive profits, way beyond Kane's expectations. Kane says he will give some to his mom, wonders what goes on inside Louis's head. Kane wants to know what makes Louis tick. They head to reception. Louis tells Kane to keep their business quiet. Kane agrees. Soon, a teacher hands Louis his credit card. Don't lose it, the teacher says, wishing him luck. At registration, Louis hears the whispers, shameless, why is the school letting commoners in? They are talking about him beating Faye and Shane, how the principal kicked others out for him. Louis realizes Sheath got expelled. Kane explains Sheath hired the Assassin's Guild. Once the school found out, they booted him instantly. Louis finally gets it, Sheath was targeting him. Kane mentions Sheath's older brother, Jess. Jess is wild, Louis needs to watch out. Louis locks eyes with Jess, no worrying, no anger. Jess is pumped though. He plans to make Louis the absolute worst student in Academy history. In the Grand Hall, all the newbies gather. The principal welcomes them. He tells them to be proud. They overcame a lot to get here. But this is just the start. Keep grinding. Aim for real power. One day, they will lead the Empire. Next up, the freshman representative gives the entrance speech. Neil Gunn. Principal calls him to the stage. Neil marches up like he owns the place. Everyone is disgusted, but they are also curious. He did take first place. His killing intent is off the charts. And he is completely naked. Examiners freak out. The principal stops them. Neil turns to the crowd. He calls them morons, says he wants to beat every single one of them to death. The crowd goes wild. They think he is arrogant, like taking first place gives him the right. Neil just tells them to shut up, silence, they know they are weak. The examiners see this disaster unfolding. They worrying about teaching this kid, some want to quit. Then Neil throws his hammer off the stage. He declares his real opponent. It lands right in front of Louis. Neil jumps onto it like a maniac, screams about a legendary battle. Insane, Kane panics. He jumps between Neil and Louis. He reminds Neil the exam is still happening, tells him to back off his friend. Neil just mocks Kane, calls him scared, compares him to other nobles. Weak and pale, Kane is furious. He winds up to punch. Louis stops him, tells him to chill. Neil calls them cowards. Says he will fight both. Guess who shows up? Brian tries to fix things. He says he is a talented commoner. Tells Kane and Louis to get along. He warns that selfishness kills you at the academy. Neil ignores him, tells him to get lost. He does not care. Brian looks embarrassed. Kane thinks it is funny. You already know Louis is confused why Brian defends Neil. Students gossip. They are shocked a commoner like Brian gets treated like trash. Kane grins. Neil threatens to smash Brian's head. A teacher stops him. No fighting allowed outside class, tests, or official tournaments. Break that rule. Immediate expulsion. Neil's attitude shifts fast. He actually looks a little embarrassed. Guess nobody wants to get kicked out of a top university. He backs off, saving the fight for later. But the tension between him and Louis, still there. The teacher wraps up the entrance ceremony. Done. Students are free today. Classes start tomorrow. Louis has no idea why Neil came at him. Kane tries blaming Faye, dragging her right into it. Faye is not having it. She smacks Kane. She reminds him their near expulsion was partly her fault. She fought Neil during the final exam. That match ended in a draw. Rumors say Neil lost to Louis though. That just fuels his revenge. Faye is relieved Louis is safe. The brawl ended okay. Louis tells her it is no problem. They are super close. Then Kane drags Louis away. He warns him everyone is watching. And yeah, students are staring. They are already hated. Fast forward a bit. Kane and Louis hit the academy shop. Louis cannot believe the prices. Everything is insanely expensive. The salesgirl says it is not that bad. She points out a fluffy feather pillow, only 30 silver coins. Still too much. She shows him even pricier pillows. Louis smacks his forehead. He cannot believe how costly this stuff is. Kane says this is actually cheap. He needs daily necessities. He should treat himself sometimes. Louis gets it immediately. Money and credits are power. He secretly uses savings. He buys the cheapest new life order set for 100 silver coins. The girl agrees. He is so relieved he made money with that perfume earlier. Otherwise, he would be doomed. Louis plans to send the rest of that cash to the orphanage. He spots magic potions essential for cleaning. Instantly thinks about making more money. He spots Faye and Miliana walking. Faye asks Manhwa about her magic awakening ritual tomorrow. Louis eyes the bags in their hands. They spend so much on him. He thinks about his family grinding back home. He hunts for room 60, praying he does not get stuck with some thought. Someone blocks his path. A futon flies right in front of him. He looks inside. A pack of bows are cornering a freshman. They demand total obedience. The kid just looks bored. One bully grabs him. Guess who steps in? Louis taps the bully's hand, sending shock waves up his arm. Louis warns them about breaking doors, asks if they want expulsion. They all turn on him, claiming innocence. They say he started it. One idiot lunges. Louis jerks his hand away. The bully's fist connects with his own friend, knocking him flat. Brutal, Louis smirks. Insists he never touched anyone. The punch kid cries. He asks why his friend hit him. No answer. Louis kicks, making another bully's leg spasm and nail a crouched friend. Total confusion. Louis punches the leader in the chest, sending him flying into another guy. The bully still does not get it. He starts blaming Louis. Louis just smirks, says he did nothing. They are just hurting each other. The bully screams Louis controlled them, calls him a monster. Louis hates that word. He struts forward, but the bullied kid steps in. The kid begs Louis to just drop it. Louis threatens the whole pack, then tells them to get lost. They scramble, muttering pathetic threats over their shoulders. Louis helps the freshman gather his stuff. He spots the name Kara Candace on the bedding. Louis tries small talk, but Kara vanishes. Insanely shy, total bully magnet, you know. Louis looks around. Day 1. And already so much drama. He just wants a quiet opening ceremony tomorrow. Yeah, right. Cut to some shady guys tampering with the Great Hall. They are definitely going to be a problem. Next day, the Great Hall is packed. Everyone is there for the ceremony. Louis shows up with his roommate, Kara, still silent, not a single word. Louis stares at the massive statue dominating the hall. The goddess of this world, a priest, stands at the base, demanding everyone's attention. He introduces Goddess Gaia. Then comes the history lesson. Long ago, Gaia made the world so humans and monsters could coexist. Didn't last. Monsters started using their insane power against humans. Soon, dragons owned the sky. The he-myths owned the land. Krakens on the sea. Brutal power struggles between these giants covered the earth in blood. Monsters wiped out countless humans. Gaia saw her ruined world and got furious. So she blessed the humans who had zero magic. That blessing changed everything. Humans started understanding the 4 elements: water, earth, wind, and fire. They built martial arts from that knowledge. Centuries of brutal fighting followed. Humans finally escaped annihilation. They became the world's new rulers. Now these students standing here descend from those great ancestors, the ones who got the blessing and awakened the world's true nature. Magic power. Louis listens closely. He notices something though. Still no mention of that first hero the principal talked about. Kara watches Louis. She says nothing. Typical. Right then the priest approaches. He points them toward their seats. The bows are confused. They follow anyway. The priest explains. Got magic talent? You will sense the elements. We can sense nothing. Then the academy has no place for you. As he says this, the priest turns to Louis. Louis feels tension radiating off the guy. The priest dismisses everyone. Announces the ritual starts now. All students take your seats. Louis stays distracted. That strange look the priest gave him earlier. Did he somehow offend him? The priest starts the ritual. He announces the 4 elements again. Instructs students to sharpen their minds, reach out to whatever they sense. Explains the goddess helps them discover their hidden element. He performs magic, for element symbols appear at the halls for corners, glowing brightly, releasing energy waves shining from the statues, nearly blinding the students. Suddenly, a divine figure forms above them, an even larger image of the goddess Gaia. Students look up. It feels like floating in the universe, surrounded by magical colorful orbs. The sight is breathtaking. One by one elements choose the students. Some feel happy, others disappointed. Suddenly, students gasp. A powerful tornado whips around one freshman. Two attributes awaken in one person. Everyone looks closer. Shocking, it is that commoner Neil. They cannot believe how easily he draws magic. Is he actually a genius? Neil feels ecstatic. Chosen by two elements, fire and earth, he boasts proudly. Threatens the others, demands they obey him. After showing off, he looks back. Louis still sits meditating quietly. Neil thinks someone who cannot even awaken an element is no rival. Yet he secretly hopes Louis succeeds. Everyone looks at Louis too. Surprise! No elemental energies gather around him at all. They start whispering. They expected something unusual from him. Louis grows frustrated. He cannot sense anything. Is it because he is not from this world? Thick black darkness surrounds him. Yet he knows that cannot be true. When he sparred with Cain before, he faintly sensed a strange power when Cain used magic. Now his mind feels smothered. Something cloudy blocks his vision. Louis gets angry. He refuses to let this strange barrier break his will. His determination surges. Pure will releases energy, pushes the dark cloud away. He opens his eyes. Finally, colorful elements surround him. Meanwhile, the priest watching cannot believe it. The magic circled he placed to sever Louis's mind broke. How did Louis do it? Louis reaches toward the water element. It suddenly moves away. He can sense the elements. He senses them. Can't touch them though. Talk about confusing. He keeps reaching for that water element, getting more pissed with every try. You guessed it, another priest trap. That priest secretly dropped a confinement circle. Nasty spell. Blocks the flow between spirit and element. He even threw in magic forbidden swords. Those things wreck the link between a person and the elements. The plan, Louis sees the elements, but can't touch. Brutal. Turns out, some people really want Louis crushed. Like, really want him gone. Priest blames Louis for making enemies so fast. Since he already pissed them off, one enemy slides the priest a little gift, just to sabotage Louis. Priest takes it. Now he's just waiting for Louis to hit rock bottom before this ritual ends. Time passes, students start clearing out. They're done. Cue the gossip. They're saying Louis just acted tough. Can't even awaken a simple element. Total weakling. Then, Kara spots something. He points right at Louis, then at the floor. He actually speaks. First words. Trap. Louis looks down. Kara's right. He smashes the mat. Boom. Hidden orb revealed. Kara just turns and leaves. Hurry up. Louis smiles, but he's confused. Why do this? Coincidence. He looks at the priest. Yeah. Maybe not. He shakes it off. This is where it gets goat. Louis stands up. Lets the elements feel him Whoa. Suddenly, orbs ditch the other students. They rush Louis. It's a vortex. Just like Neil's earlier, the students are losing their minds. What is up with these commoners? Why are they so strong? That priest is freaking out. How is Louis awakening this power and bypassing the curse? Even a master shouldn't break through the confinement circle and those magic forbidden orbs. Suddenly, a hand clamps onto his shoulder. He spins around. Principal Smith stands there, furious, ordering him to stand down and get out. The priest has to obey. Students gather, whispering about why the principal is even there. Some think he came to check on the commoner, who couldn't awaken anything. Others suspect some secret connection between the principal and Louis. Nobody actually knows. Meanwhile, the priest is livid. Why did the principal have to show up and ruin his plan? No other choice. He leaves the great hall. Outside, he finds Jess waiting. The priest tells him their plan failed. They need to stay away from each other for a while. Jess agrees. He says he will handle the rest himself. Furious, Jess is still determined to crush Louis no matter what. Inside the hall, the principal quietly orders his confidant, Kylie, to watch that priest. He cannot allow outsiders causing trouble at the academy. Obstacles gone. The principal focuses completely on Louis. Louis stays deep in meditation, awakening multiple elements. He looks lost in another world, and honestly, he is. Inside his mind, countless elements surrounding him blow him away. A few days earlier at Cain's house, they discussed the nature of the elements. Cain explained elements are the world's foundations, created by the goddess. Louis was confused. Monsters use magic from birth. So, he asked why humans must awaken elements first. Cain explained monsters have magical crystals inside their bodies. He showed Louis one, said these crystals hold different elemental powers. Monsters get natural magic from birth. Humans, we need an awakening ritual. An element has to recognize you first, then you manipulate surrounding elements to cast spells. Compatible elements approach you. Once recognized, just train your mind and body. Louis stared at the crystal. It looked like condensed elements themselves. Cain explained the whole world is elements. Humans just cannot see them. Louis remembers that conversation. He figures the water element floating there might suit him best. He touches it. Suddenly, he feels everything. Peaceful currents from mermaids and sirens, terrifying forces of Caracans. Immense energy surges through him. Overwhelming pain. The world's essence manifests through the goddess's will. Louis feels like he is drowning in elemental power. It is too much. Principal Smith sees Louis struggling violently. He knows this is dangerous. He quickly throws up a goddess barrier around the hall, a protective shield. Gaia strengthens it. Four corners representing elements form a cage around Louis as he struggles in the power storm. Trapped students cannot see anything. Blinding light. But they feel that overwhelming energy from Louis. They are scared and confused, especially since the principal sealed the boy inside. The principal holds the shield. Shouts for Louis to calm down. Do not get swayed by the chaos. Louis hears the voice. He quickly gathers himself. The raging vortex calms down fast. He wipes a tear. Close call. He almost lost his mind. He studies the elements closely. Something looks familiar. They resemble elementary particles from his old world, if they act like particles. Then manipulating their frequency could do insane things. Just as he thinks this, one particle bursts. The elements start swirling around him again. Principal Smith has never seen anything like it. A massive rainbow tornado rises. Students tremble. Terrifying power. Even the principal knows this blew past his expectations. Watch what happens next. Louis is still in the center. He studies the elements like a science experiment. He believes humans could use magic like monsters. They just need to control these frequencies. The elements slowly flow into his blood. Louis thinks about moving particles. Synchronize that movement with breathing and chi flow. Element circulation inside becomes smoother. Keep this balance. He might form a magic crystal. Use higher level magic. Suddenly, the remaining elements rush his head. They absorb into his brain. Louis opens his eyes. They shine with a snowflake pattern. Sharp icicles form around his body. They pierce the barrier, explode across the great hall. Louis rises. Elemental power surges. Students panic and run. Spreading ice freezes everything. Principal sees the frozen kids. Things are getting bad. First, gotta stop this power. He pulls a golden shield from his cloak. Praise to the goddess for fire. He thrusts the shield up. It shines like crazy. Then he drops a flame barrier over the whole academy. The fire hits Louis. His ice armor starts melting away. A huge light explodes from the hall. It covers the entire campus. You could see it from miles away. Everyone on campus stops, totally confused. What is happening in there? Louis finally hits the floor. The principal just stares. What element makes ice like that? Meanwhile, Louis is still deep in his head. He watches the elements in his hand, moving super fast. Slowly, they start fusing. Louis runs the numbers. Combining the four elements creates totally new reactions. Wine and water start blending right now, but he has zero clue what to do with this. He needs help, someone to guide him. The confusion is real. Louis knows he has to wake up. He finally opens his eyes. Principal Smith is standing right there. He looks around, sees the flame shield protecting them. The principal drops the barrier, calmly asks Louis if he gets what he just did. Louis looks at the frozen students. Oh man. He realizes how bad this is. Embarrassed, he just laughs nervously. Louis says he made a little mess. Principal saved him. Principal Smith turns to his confidant, Kylie, tells her he's taking Louis back to his office. She cleans up this situation. He tells Louis to follow, says he can ask anything on the way. Back in Principal Smith's office, that Gaia statue looks like it's staring Louis down hard. Principal congratulates him first, awakening all the elements. Louis drinks a potion, calm his mind. He's exhausted. Louis agrees. Shows the elements coming right out of his hands. Principal Smith is impressed, handling elements this smoothly. As a brand new apprentice, unbelievable. He can barely believe Louis just awakened. Surprising talent. Principal gives him a book. Help him study magic. Tells him to read it carefully. Reference. He explains he mainly uses earth and wine magic. So for fire and water, Louis should ask Faye and Miliana. Any questions? They both come from great families. They know tons of secrets, techniques. Principal calls his apprentice Kylie in. She enters. That magical snake transforms. Attractive woman. Principal introduces them. Explains from now on. Kylie protects Louis. That's her job. After that, Kylie suggests they move, somewhere they can talk freely. She leads them to an abandoned building. Louis asks why here. Principal explains. This is where he trains, meditates, reinforced with earth magic, durable, soundproof. Kylie asks Louis to show her the elements. Louis demonstrates how he awakened the ice element. Tyr chants during his ritual. Explains he speeds up two elements, blends them. A new element is born. He calls it the ice element. Principal Smith has never heard of mixing elements. Kylie is floored. She is drawn to that chilling effect and smiles. Next thing you know, she lunges at Louis. Wants to feel that ice element herself. She throws a flurry of punches. Louis defends easily with his magic. He even lands a punch that forces her back. Wild. She realizes this fusion is insane. Turning to the principal, she asks if anyone has ever done this before. Guess what he says? Principal Smith says hell no. Since magic appeared, tons of people studied it. Countless geniuses devoted their lives. Nobody succeeded in fusing elements. Most people control one attribute. Very few manipulate multiple. Even the Empire's strongest saint, Lady Miran, a once-in-a-century genius, could control 3 elements, but she failed trying to fuse 2. It drove her mind and body to the brink of insanity. Louis realizes normal humans cannot do this. The principal explains humans must withstand that power in body and mind. Accelerating elements like Louis did requires immense willpower. You have to guide them and release them safely. Only by controlling multiple elements at once can they collide, form something new, but it can be lethal. Kylie realizes Louis' power might rival a saint. He does not even understand it yet. Kylie decides to give Louis a proper test. She invokes her fire element, another duel. Brace yourself. They clash. Principal Smith explains Lady Miran's theory. Handling multiple elements simultaneously required a dragon-like body. Something capable of withstanding elemental collisions or using magic crystals like monsters do. Louis asks about the research. Disastrous. The principal says every experiment in the Empire failed. They deemed the concept forbidden, illegal. He never imagined someone breaking that taboo. Witnessing it now shocks him. Louis realizes something. Calculating multiple elements along separate pathways, he avoided them colliding inside him. Kylie warns him, do not get cocky. She reminds him of the risks. Louis understands the stakes. It could bring trouble like his previous life. He will not lose control. Kylie tells him, if his secret gets out, no telling what happens. The principal assigned her to protect him. She hates unnecessary trouble. So she tells Louis to be careful. Louis accepts. He confirms ice is just an application of water. The principal asks what he means. Louis explains. His insane willpower manipulates water into ice under pressure. He asks Kylie to attack again. She lunges. Lassie demonstrates his water magic. Extreme pressure transforms water into ice. He forms an ice shield. Kylie is confused. Principal Smith is astonished. Louis names it Water Element Superionic Ice Form. Kylie asks how he turned ordinary water into ice. It resists her flames. It radiates heat. Louis explains. Liquids change form under intense pressure. He just applied that knowledge. The principal turns to Louis. So much remains unexplained. He invites Louis over any time. promises to personally teach him. He wants him to use his powers properly. He even offers credit for new discoveries. Louis is pumped. Kylie, though, she looks nervous. She asks Principal Smith if he is actually going to protect Louis. Nothing like this is in the books. Could have been a total fluke. Principal Smith just shrugs. Some magic in those books started as a fluke. He is not ignoring any possibilities. Kylie takes it all in. She accepts her boss's orders. She knows our hero is going to be high maintenance. Tons of work ahead. She vows to do it anyway. Then poof, gone. The principal offers our hero a mental recovery potion. It restores energy. He warns Louis not to overuse it. Classes start tomorrow. Time to head back and rest. Our hero downs the potion. Magic potions for the mind. Wild. Louis gets back to his dorm, wide awake. He figures he will just meditate until morning. He walks in. Kara is still up. Louis asks what he is doing. Waiting for him. Our hero really appreciates it. Kara really saved him today. The principal mentioned that rare artifact in the hall. How did our hero even notice it? Kara does not say a word. He just hands Louis a card for Ganda's trading company. Now Louis gets why Kara knows so much. Kara quietly leaves, mutters thanks, door shuts. Louis gets it. Kara is repaying him for day one. Plus he is a merchant's son. Good networking. Next morning. Candria Arcanist Training Hall. Students gather. They introduce the new physical training instructor. Derek. He is there for martial arts fundamentals. But man, he is gross, creepy too. Most students feel it. They feel intimidated or disgusted. Even Kane thinks the teacher is weird, but Louis, he is focused on that exceptionally toned body. Eager to learn how to train both body and mind, Derek immediately notices our hero. Moves in behind him at incredible speed. Louis senses him instantly. Kane is just intimidated. Derek leans close. Compliments our hero on his masterclass physique, says he wants to train him more. Our hero feels disgusted and cautious. Derek turns to Kane. Mocks his lack of muscles. Calls him all blonde hair with no strength. Kane is annoyed. Derek moves on. Class begins following academy tradition. Seniors demonstrate the training equipment. A few seniors including Jess enter, commenting on how unreliable the freshmen are. How even great families have become disgraceful. They walk in with pride, acting like they own the hall. Kane and our hero are slightly annoyed. Derek asks them to demonstrate their strength. One senior steps up to the weighted pec deck. It trains both arms and chest. He lifts effortlessly. Each weight is enhanced with magic. He handles 1 ton with ease. The students are shocked. They realize they could never manage that. Another senior spins at incredible speed. Yet another runs on a treadmill. 250 kilo weight strapped to both legs. Derek tells the freshmen to try. Warns them not to overdo it. The freshmen struggle with every exercise. Clearly lacking athletic skill, the seniors mock them until they stop. Then they notice someone dominating the machines. It is our hero working out like it is a joke. He lifts 10 tons with ease. Runs on the treadmill so fast it feels like it might explode. He spins so violently it seems like a tornado. The students are stunned, convinced it is impossible. Suspect he might be using enhancement drugs. Neil is in his own competition. Neil, he's in a league of his own. He presses 15 tons like it's nothing. Straps on a 20-ton block and runs like it's a walk in the park. Other students just stare, horrified, watching this human monster train. Set finished. He slams the massive weight right in front of Louis. Deafening crash. Obvious intentions. Neil thinks this proves he wins. Simple, he's stronger. He glares at Louis, says forget everyone else. Time to settle this now. Louis doesn't see a rivalry, he just sees Neil's massive ego. Desperate need to be the strongest. That thought just annoys Louis more. He rubs his forehead. Tired of Neil's assumptions. First day. Basic physical training. It's just to build strength and endurance. That's it. Louis tells Neil showing off is pointless, childish. Before it ends, Jess gets offended. Louis wasn't even talking to him. Jess assumes it's directed his way. His face darkens. He warns Louis, don't get arrogant just because you're slightly stronger. Jess says, physical strength doesn't matter. True power comes from attributes. That gets Louis' attention. What are attributes? Neil answers with total confidence. He proudly declares he has dual attributes, fire and earth. Jess looks genuinely stunned. A commoner awakening with both. Almost unheard of. Even Jess knows how insane that combo is. Neil turns to Louis, asks what attribute he has. Louis calmly says he has a water attribute. Jess hears that and bursts out laughing. Pathetic. Out of everything, Louis gets water. To Jess, it sounds completely pathetic. He openly mocks Louis. What is a water user even supposed to do in a fight? Splash puddles and hope they slip? Louis just looks confused. He does not get why water is so funny. That is when Milana finally explains it. She tells Louis water attribute martial arcane is super basic compared to the others. Its main offensive skill is Aqualate. That technique leans way more toward defense and support, not destruction. Because of that, people look down on water users. They see them as weaker than fighters with aggressive, destructive attributes. Louis falls silent, processing everything. He never realized people look down on the water attribute this much. Jess keeps pushing the humiliation. He tells him no matter how strong his body is, the moment you awaken water, your future is hopeless. The bullies surrounding him burst out laughing. One smugly adds that in all of history, not a single water user has ever reached the rank of grandmother. They mockingly advise Louis, accept your place. Just be support for people with superior attributes. Best thing he can do. Stand behind stronger fighters, help them win. Louis immediately hates their tone. He narrows his eyes, asks if they seriously mean a water attribute user never gets past master. Even in ideal conditions, Jess acts like it is obvious, common sense. He sneers at Louis. Commoner clearly knows nothing about the world. Someone has to explain reality to him. Kane finally loses it, snaps back, Faye steps in too. Demands the bullies shut up. They have no idea what they are doing. Tension explodes. The argument gets louder every second. Jess suddenly walks to the teacher, reminds him seniors should be role models. Then he proposes a new exercise, explains proper magic control needs mana control. Also a powerful body that can take punishment. Endurance training is perfect, strengthens physical toughness and mana control. Taking direct hits forces the body to adapt. Smug grin on his face. Jess suggests a friendly spar. Call it endurance training. He proudly declares he will personally show everyone just how useless the water attribute really is. Brace yourself. Kane quickly leans toward Louis, warns him about something huge. Jess is actually the older brother of that student Louis humiliated earlier. He also explains water attributes are notoriously weak. They suck at reinforcing and protecting the body. Jess clearly plans to beat Louis half to death in front of everyone. Louis barely pays attention to Kane's warning. He turns to the teacher, calmly. He states there is no superior or inferior attribute. The teacher immediately takes that as Louis accepting the challenge. Louis confirms it without hesitation. He declares he will fight the seniors himself. He will prove their beliefs wrong. Cut to the senior students. They eagerly wait for the fight to begin. Kane tries one last time to convince Louis to reconsider. Louis simply tells him everything will be fine. The teacher then announces the match rules. Magic only inside the central arena. He expects everyone to rely on their physical strength. Dodging attacks during the exchange, strictly forbidden. Every participant must stand their ground and endure the blows. As Jess and Louis prepare, boom, flames erupt nearby. Neil bursts forward. Fire surrounds him. He laughs like a complete maniac. He shouts his moment finally arrived. Now he can finally enjoy a proper fight. The senior students immediately grow irritated by his interruption. One steps forward, angry. He announces he will personally teach Neil how to speak to his seniors with respect. The senior activates his earth attribute. Thick armor forms around his body. He charges forward at terrifying speed. His attack looks vicious enough to kill someone outright. Brutal. Before he even gets close, a fist slams his face. Hard, shatters his defense completely, sends him flying across the arena. Everyone is shocked. Neil just casually steps forward. Jess and the seniors are frozen. The guy who got punched, no clue what happened. His earth armor is famous, super tough defense. Neil destroys it with one strike, brutal. Jess orders the rest to attack Neil together. Bring him down. The seniors rush him. But Neil looks thrilled. This is where it gets good. He dramatically tears off his shirt, shows off his perfect body like he is on stage. Then he grins wildly. charges straight in. Their attacks barely affect him, harmless. Every strike he lands is devastating. He grabs one senior, hurls him into several others. For a second, Neil's back is exposed. An Earth Attribute senior sees the opening, rushes forward, thinks he found the weak spot. He attacks with everything. The instant he lands, confidence gone. Instead of hurting Neil, he shatters his own armor. A split second later, adrenaline fades, unbearable pain surges. He shrieks through the arena. The horrified senior finally realizes what happened. Neil concentrates his mana into one point, strengthens it insanely. The senior cannot understand how first-year student has this terrifying mana control. Neil kicks him violently across the arena. He crashes into a wall. The teacher watches, bored. He calmly reminds everyone, powerful fighters never neglect fundamentals. Unless you want to end up like that guy on the ground. Louis watches the carnage, scared. Even he admits Neil is delivering a horrifying beating. He quietly asks Kane, "Did Neil go too far?" Before Kane can answer, another attack from behind. Kane notices instantly. Fan Louis spot another senior approaching from the front. Kane and Face step forward. Protect Louis. They want to prove freshmen aren't weak prey. Louis stands between his two friends. He slowly lifts his eyes toward Jess. Their gazes lock across the arena. Louis speaks calmly. Finally time for their main event. Jess mocks Louis, thinks way too highly of himself, arrogant, ignorant, completely unaware of his place. Jess proudly declares his lineage. Heir of the Harry family, prestige and influence. He will personally teach a lowborn nobody like Louis what true noble dignity looks like. Honor and manners, only nobles possess them. He finished speaking. Brace yourself. Jess launches high into the air. Dives toward Louis. Incredible speed. He unleashes gale penetration. Deadly force aimed directly at Louisi, but just as it connects, Louis instantly creates an ice shield above himself. Jess is completely stunned. Watch what happens next. The shield blocks his attack without even cracking. Freezing energy pours out so fast he has to back off instantly. Brutal. Jess stares at his hands. They are freezing just from touching the ice. He cannot believe this terrifying power is water magic. Louis calmly confirms it. Just water magic techniques. Melana watches, super curious. Even she has never seen water magic like this. The other students are just as confused. None of them had ever seen an ice shield. They have never seen water magic manipulated like this. Jess refuses to accept it. He convinces himself Louis is just using some strange trick. Brian mutters that the freshmen this year are just troublemakers. Jess decides he is still going to teach Louis a lesson. Jess looks at Neil, still destroying senior students left and right. He rushes him. Neil sees Jess coming and gets excited. Guess who thinks he found his next punching bag? Neil throws a powerful punch. Jess smoothly avoids it and laughs. Told him he missed. Neil grins at the challenge. Jess moves so fast Neil cannot land a single hit. But Jess is not really focused on Neil. Throughout the chaos, brace yourself. He is secretly using Neil as a distraction to get closer to Louis. He sees an opening. Jess rushes Louis with clear killing intent. Before he can reach him, Neil charges in, attacks Jess directly. Jess dodges again. Bam! He is behind Louis, trying another sneak attack. Louis just raises another ice shield. Blocked. Louis mocks him. I'll talk about honor and pride. But all he does is sneak attack from behind. Noble ideals, worthless. Jess fires back. He is a noble. He does what it takes to win. Winning is his destiny. They keep fighting. They are actually bantering mid-fight. Neil is getting pissed watching them. He suddenly jumps right in and attacks again. Louis barely dodges. What? Neil is supposed to be on his side. This 2-on-1 crap is getting annoying. Jess thinks he finally has an opening. Louis is distracted. He lunges. But at the last second, Neil shoves him away, hard. Jess is furious. Neil is acting like a maniac. Neil shouts at him, "Stop underestimating me. Teaming up is smart." Jess is gone. Neil turns to Louis, eyes burning. Finally, time to fight face to face. The teacher is watching closely. He sees it. Speed, precision, close-range movement. Geniuses. Both of them. At this rate, they might even surpass William. Louis keeps dodging. Neil is relentless. Suddenly, Louis grabs Neil's arm. Bam! Direct punch to the throat. That is Neil's weak point. Neil instantly gasps for air. Faye is furious. She screams at Louis. Throat attacks are way too dangerous. Louis looks away for 1 second. Big mistake. Neil grabs his hand. Rage in his eyes. He finally caught him. Neil promises real pain. Neil slams his head forward. Headbutt. He mutters that Louis should never fight him equally. Neil says he is just getting started. Louis stares coldly. He reminds Neil about the Academy rules. No serious injuries allowed. Louis decides Neil crossed the line. He unleashes his water element. Streams of water flood the area. His awakened power surges. Neil watches, interested, but he is still arrogant. Simple water magic. No way that stops him. The teacher said this tests their bodies. Neil refuses to back down. Louis does not care. He calmly asks, "Want something stronger?" The water instantly turns to ice. Neil is frozen solid. Brutal. The pain is unbearable. Neil immediately releases his fire element. He desperately melts the ice. He breaks free, looking even crazier than before. Wild grin spreads. Fighting Louis makes him stronger. He declares, "Battle must continue." Cut to Neil, just a kid, kneels by a river, drinks water, tries to understand the pain. Strange pain constantly burning, alone in the darkness. Suddenly, wolves, approaching slowly, fear grips him. Before he can react, they lunge. Tearing into his body, Neil desperately defends. One wolf sinks teeth into his arm, another bites deep into his leg. Even as a kid, Neil has frightening strength, sheer force. Pries open jaws, rips his arm free. Rage explodes, pain floods him. Drives him into a frenzy. In that moment, tears wolves apart, bare hands. That night changes everything. Blooded bodies scattered. Neil realizes something. Pain proves you are alive. Strength allows survival. More pain, stronger he gets. Only the strong survive. That small child slaughters every wolf. So Neil seeks pain. Pain defines him. Shapes who he is. Back to now. Neil casually rushes Louis again. Charges forward. Tells Louis they are the same. Monsters chasing power. Louis responds immediately. Martial arts technique. Focuses mind and strength. Single movement. Powerful kick directly into Neil's face. Lands perfectly, but shaken. Hell no. Neil actually enjoys the pain. Louis gets even more pissed. He attacks again and again. Blow after blow lands on Neil. Neil keeps grinning through the beating. Loving every hit, Faye and Kane are completely lost. At this rate, Louis might actually kill him. Brutal. Neil gets wilder, more dangerous every second. They realize how insane this is. Both decide they have to stop Louis now. Neil refuses to back down. Screams the fight is not over. He lunges at Louis again. Louis quickly dodges. Louis is freaking out inside. How does he stop this maniac? Without breaking Academy rules, maybe freezing him will finally work. Louis tells Neil to calm down. Drives a punch into his stomach. Immediately after, Ice Tempest freezes Neil against the wall. But Neil releases his fire again. Melts right through the ice, trapping him. Watching this, the teacher finally looks interested. Now the fight is entertaining. Neil drops to the ground. Still won't surrender. He declares this is not enough. Urges Louis to come at him with everything. Watch what happens next. Instead of Neil charging, a powerful force slams him into the ground. Neil barely sees Kylie standing there. Kylie coldly tells the unconscious Neil, "You went too far." To her, he is just a muscle-headed idiot, completely out of control. The teacher sees Kylie, instantly lights up. He clearly has a crush, has not seen her in forever. Thinks she is even more beautiful. That aura totally captivates him. Kylie shuts that down fast, asks him, "What if a student dies on day one?" Reminds him of the principal's warning. Teacher gets embarrassed, defends himself. "I'm not some irresponsible fool, just bringing out potential." Kylie mocks him. "Better hope you are just an idiot." She is ordered to protect Louis. You get what that means. Then she drops the bomb. Principal wants to see him after class. Teacher knows he is getting lectured. Still, he looks at the freshman. So much potential. Louis, Faye, Kane, they stand out. He tells Neil, "Get dressed." Overlooking this crazy behavior once, lose control again. Credits get cut. Neil barely hears him. He withstood master-level attacks, then realizes, keep destroying clothes. He is going broke, so he decides he has to hunt monsters for cash. Just then, the bell rings, class dismissed, teacher says seniors can go, freshmen need to rest, recover, chug potions. He warns them he's pushing harder now, better get ready, no crying later. After class, Kane tells Lou something wild, freshmen beating seniors? Almost never happens in the Academy's 100-year history. Louis thinks about that. He doesn't remember reading anything like that in the records. Kane explains it only happened 3 times. Each time, those freshman classes produce several grandmasters. Louis immediately asks, when was the last time? Kane says it happened when their fathers were here. Apparently, even they beat upperclassmen their first year. Insane. Cut to the seniors, bruised, bloody, humiliated. They limp back to class. One apologizes to Jess for being weak, but he admits Louis and Neil are just too strong. He whispers, maybe they take those 2 out from the shadows. Jess shuts that down instantly. He wants to beat them openly, stand above everyone as the strongest. He believes that spot is his. He tells his buddy, don't rush. Plenty of chances for revenge later. In Jess's eyes, Louis and Neil are just citizens. Doesn't matter how powerful they get, nobles run this empire. Faye talks to Miliana, asks about Louis' moves. His water magic talent. Insane. Faye says Miliana should stick with Louis. Train together. Get stronger. Miliana thinks about Louis. That overwhelming power. She can't do that. No way. Even training with him, her water moves feel pathetic. Before Louis showed up, nobody used water magic like this. So weird, so strong. Miliana knows she needs her own attack moves, easier ones. Faye asks, you're 16, pushing this hard? Miliana whispers back, gotta do it, for the family, make them proud. Faye knew she'd say that. She calls Louis over. Hey. Miliana wants to talk. Everyone stares. Miliana gets super nervous. Guess what they think? Love confession. Front of everyone. Nope. Not even close. Louis walks up. Faye explains. He used water magic, right? Can he teach Miliana? Louis says yes. Instantly, he's just nice like that. No problem, they're friends. Friends? Miliana hears that word and freezes. Totally confused, even Louis sees it. Weird. Miliana quietly drops a bomb, says she might bring him serious trouble one day. Still hopes he won't regret being her friend. Louis tells her straight up. Never. He doesn't regret people he cares about. That just makes Miliana more emotional. She blurts out she won't drag him into her mess. Then she bolts. Everyone just watches her go, totally confused. Faye immediately chases after her, apologizes to Louis on the run, says she talked to Miliana. Make sure she's okay. They disappear. Louis thinks, everyone carries their own heavy stuff. He gets that, honestly, he might be the one causing her trouble. He turns to Kane, asks what he knows about her. Kane explains, Miliana is a Rose, granddaughter of a grandmother. Back when her grandmother was alive, the Rose family was huge, tons of influence, but after she died, the family lost everything, power, status, gone. Kane admits he doesn't know the rest. Faye probably knows way more. Louis turns to Kara, asks her. Kara explains, the Rose family clashed with the Arcanist Association. Now Louis is really listening. He asks, is Miliana's trouble connected to them? Does Kara know anything else? Nope. Kara shakes her head. That's all she knows, for now. Louis gets it. Real answers mean talking to Faye or Miliana directly. Fast forward to the next day, freshmen gather at the Academy's first magic training ground. The professor announces magic is the goddess's blessing, the world's true essence. He's going to teach them proper magic control and martial arcane combat. He introduces himself as Mr. Sid. Kane notices Louis looks ticked off and asks what's up. I mean, Louis was super hyped for magic class earlier. Louis quietly admits he's still excited, but he just feels like the professor already hates him. Speak of the devil, Mr. Sid appears right in front of Louis. He coldly tells him students shouldn't chat while the teacher talks. He openly states he hates rude, idiotic people in his classroom. Just like that, he docks Louis one credit. Sid keeps insulting him, saying unlike some muscle-brain idiots, students need to follow academy rules. According to him, if Louis keeps breaking them, he'll end up with 0 credits. A second later, Mr. Sid docks another credit. He accuses Louis of being vulgar and disrespectful, even though Louis hasn't said a word. Unfair. Louis stays silent though. He knows the professor is deliberately targeting him. As Mr. Sid walks away, he tells Louis to learn proper noble etiquette and culture. Then Mr. Sid raises his finger. Suddenly, a gigantic sand knight erupts from the ground using magic art. Kane and Louis just stare, totally amazed. Mr. Sid explains real combat. Martial arcane needs both martial arts and magic mastery. Want to be a true apprentice? First, learn to shape mana into a weapon. Master that, and you can cover your whole body in arcane armor. Sid demonstrates, forming a mana sword in his right hand. Master those basics, he says, and you finally become a real fighter. To control mana, connect thoughts to movements, guide it with precise actions. Sid flips the sword, then slashes the giant sand knight. It slices right through. Insane. Everyone is stunned by martial arcane's power. Now, they all have to attack stone statues the same way. Most damage gets 5 extra credits, but first, he is teaching proper magic attacks. Sid splits everyone by attribute. Neil has dual attributes, so he's exempt. Water users move aside. Practice arcane armor, and help warm up. Group separate. Kane, Miliana, Faye, and Louis head to their sections. Immediately, other students mock Miliana. They laugh, calling water users famous human punching bags. Miliana is mortified, stuck in the corner doing support. Again, everyone else gets to smash statues. She is furious. At this rate, grandmother. Forget it. Stressing hard, she whispers about proving herself to that person. Who is that? Louis thinks maybe the Arcanist Association. Louis asks her straight up what is wrong. Milana gets embarrassed. Says it is nothing. None of his business. Louis keeps prepping. He cannot understand her obsession with offense. Water is built for support, better than most elements. Supporting allies, disrupting enemies, both huge in a fight. Miliana snaps back. She wants grandmother, wants her family reputation back. To do that, she needs attack and defense. She insists the goddess would not make a useless attribute. Powerful offensive water magic must exist. She spent years chugging potions, trying to boost accolade, making multi-hit versions. All that work, still no real destructive power. She is terrifying. Maybe water users really cannot become grandmasters. Right then, some guy walks up, tells Miliana his turn is next, so he needs a warm-up. Aqua support techniques. Miliana makes a water shield around him. He practices. But the constant attacks are draining her. The strain is wrecking her body. Louis watches. He thinks about water and becoming a grandmother. This reminds him of his past life, hard. Back then, people mocked his disability. They laughed. Researching martial arts when he could barely walk. Terrible asthma too. Bullies called him pathetic. Pursuing impossible dreams. Some stole his research. Told him to stop glorifying failure. Others just said die. Looking at Miliana, Louis gets it. She knows her weakness. Still, she refuses to quit. Just like Kane, she keeps moving. Louis thinks maybe he can show her something new. A different path for martial arts and water magic. He steps forward. Bam! A powerful ice shield. The force ends that annoying kid flying. Louis turns to Miliana. He believes in water magic too. Watch my technique carefully. Miliana blushes. He is so close. She nervously asks if he is serious. Louis calls to Mr. Sid. Can he attack a statue too? Mr. Sid is already annoyed. He warns Louis. Fail to damage it. Lose even more credits. Sid sneers. Is Louis really wasting precious ice magic on this tank? He should stick to basic mana control. Louis just stays calm. Actually, he found a better way to boost water offense. Guess what happens? The whole training ground bursts out laughing. Ridiculous. Even Miliana gets nervous. She points out these statues are special artifacts. Rare magical materials, heavily reinforced with earth magic. Basic water spells won't even scratch them. She is worried he will lose more credits. Louis tells her it is fine. He has a plan. He walks up to the giant knight statue. Scoops up some sand. He remembers an old saying. Soft things overcome hard things. High pressure water plus sand. Fire it super fast. That can cut through anything. Louis acts instantly. Watch this. Boom. The massive knight statue gets sliced into countless pieces. Mr. Sid just stares at the wreckage. He cannot believe it. Louis looks at him. "This," he says, "is true water magic." Later that night, Kane, Kara, and Louis walk back to the dorms. Kane is hyping up class. He wishes he saw Sid's face when Louis earned all those credits. Total masterpiece. Sid looked miserable, like a living nightmare. The second he saw Louis's clean, powerful water attack, his face goes pale, like he just ate rotten bread. Then he practically bolts out of the room. The second class ends. Louis casually replies he was so focused on experimenting with water magic, he never even bothered paying attention to the teacher's reaction. To him, the man's expression was not worth looking at. Kane quickly changes the subject back to water magic. He mentions they should seriously consider Faye's suggestion. He explains Miliana is working extremely hard. She is creating a new path for herself. She is even spending money on expensive mental recovery potions to keep training. He also hears she plans to rent private training rooms. She wants to continue practicing alone during her free time. Kane points out that joining forces might benefit Louis too. Kara suddenly joins the conversation. Renting a training room costs around 30 silver coins. Mental recovery potions can cost nearly 300 gold coins. Hearing those numbers completely shocks Louis. The prices are far higher than he expects. After thinking for a moment, he turns to Kara. He asks for a favor related to the upcoming training mission. They are supposed to participate in a few days. The three of them continue discussing the mission. They make their way back to the dormitories. Fast forward to the next day. The teacher gathers the entire class outside on the academy grounds. He gives them a speech. Their bodies are already becoming stronger, more refined with every passing day. Watching their progress fills him with pride. Because of that, he announces they are finally ready. They can begin participating in the Academy's official training missions. According to him, teacher says these missions are not just student duties, they are huge growth opportunities. He explains the Arcanist Academy connects to the Mondo Great Forest on the western frontier. Way back, that forest was terrifying monster territory. Over time, it became a natural border separating several major nations. Even now though, countless monsters still live there. Go deeper toward the center, the monsters get way more dangerous and powerful. By comparison, the creatures near the outer edge are far weaker. The Academy itself was originally built partly to help defend the Empire against threats coming out of that forest. That is why students regularly go on training missions to wipe out weaker monsters around the outskirts. The teacher explains every magic crystal collected from defeated monsters can be exchanged for credits or rewards back at the Academy. On top of that, whichever student brings back the biggest haul of crystals, it's an extra bonus reward. But he also warns them, recklessness has consequences. If students challenge monsters that are too powerful and need a teacher to rescue them, they immediately lose 1 credit as punishment. Explanation finished, the teacher dismisses them to prepare. Neil looks incredibly excited. In his mind, this is finally his chance to completely cut loose in real combat. Cut to Faye asking Louis if he really plans to use actual combat to train Miliana. Louis calmly answers that real battles show a person's true abilities a better than controlled practice ever could. Because of that, all of them agree to form a team of 5 people. They figure combining strength and teamwork beats wasting tons of cash on expensive training rooms. Faye turns to Miliana, asks what she thinks. Guess what? Miliana actually seems excited. Right after that, the teacher claps, announces every freshman group of 5 will do their first mission with some seniors. He explains it lets freshmen learn from older students, keeps them relatively safe on their first mission. Not long after, Louis notices Jess staring. Jess approaches, coldly comments on meeting again during mission prep. He reminds Louis training missions are deadly. Sarcastically tells him not to get killed out there. Louis calmly responds, people only grow stronger overcoming danger. Jess clicks his tongue, walks away muttering Louis is an arrogant bastard. Once he leaves, Jess quietly tells a friend, if a fight breaks out, no senior helps the freshman at all. Kane quietly warns Louis, teachers usually watch from afar. They rarely interfere unless absolutely necessary. He suspects some seniors might lure freshmen deeper, force them towards stronger monsters just to make things harder. Luigi simply replies, stronger monsters mean more valuable magic crystals, which also means more money and more academy credits. Soon, all the groups enter the forest. They travel deeper inside. Louis chats with Kane about the forest. He wonders if any ancient, powerful monsters are still hiding deep inside. Kane says the local saints cleared out the dangerous behemoths ages ago. Supposedly nothing big near the outer edge. Maybe they'll get lucky and find a fighter-class monster. Their supervising senior overhears and scoffs. In his head, he's thinking, fighter-class monsters take a whole team of trained fighters just to survive. These apprentices think they can take one. Delusional. Suddenly, a massive monster appears right in front of them. Even the senior is shocked. It's a fighter-class grand bear. Does he help? Nope. The senior instantly leaps into a tree, hiding in the branches. He thinks this is perfect. A monster this strong will crush these newbies. He decides to just watch the disaster from his safe spot. Louis sees this and gets instantly pissed. Meanwhile, the senior is thinking about how dangerous the grand bear is. Insane stamina, super tough defense. He thinks these students are about to get wrecked. But Louis immediately orders his group into combat positions. The bear roars, deafening everyone. All 5 draw weapons and attack together. Faye strikes first with her spear. Kane hits from behind with his new martial arts technique. Kane hits it, instant regret. The monster is hard as solid stone. The bear swings back. Kane barely blocks it. Faye charges right back in. Kara attacks from the side. Louis watches them work. Seeing everyone fight together like this, awesome. All these attacks just piss the grand bear off. It turns on Louis and Miliana. Miliana acts fast. Water magic locks the bear down. Then she mixes water control with martial arts. She throws that massive beast through the air like a bowling ball. Louis is stunned, never seen that before. Faye explains it. Miliana made it herself. Water magic plus jujitsu. Impressive, seriously impressive. Louis loves seeing her create her own style. He is not about to fall behind though. Louis rushes the bear. Time to show off. He lands a brutal kick right in the chest. Near the heart, sends the giant beast flying. Right after that, he compresses a water sphere. Launches it. Boom. Violent explosion. The monster crashes hard. Miliana is shocked. Stronger students barely scratch this thing. Barely. And Louis just wrecked it with water magic. You already know. Louis just calmly explains, it is all science. Superheat water, compress it, detonate it under pressure. It creates steam hot enough to burn targets internally and choke them out. Even with tough skin or strong defenses, internal damage wrecks you. Miliana soaks it up like gospel. She's already thinking about applying those ideas to her own techniques. Cut 2. Louis gives her a special magic ring from the Candace Trading Company. He got Kara to make it. With the ring, Miliana can temporarily use earth, fire, and wind magic plus her water, just like him. Louis actually got the idea from seeing all the rings Mr. Sid wears in class. Inspired him to combine attributes, so he got one made for Miliana too. Miliana is so happy. But the second she puts it on, a fire attack blasts right at her. Louis shouts a warning. Close call. Miliana sees it last second and barely dodges. She's stunned. That attack had insane power. Everyone whips around, hidden in the trees. The senior watching can't believe it. A fighter-class grand bear just gone, deleted from existence. Then, Louis and the group feel something huge coming. Trees start shaking like crazy from pure weight. Huge monsters stomp out of the shadows. Blaze cons, fiery, ape-like freaks, pure madness built right in. Kane instantly calls it bad, really bad. Louis asks what these blaze cons even are. Kane whispers they shouldn't be anywhere near the academy. One blaze con here is alarming. A whole pack, impossible. Next thing you know, the blaze cons start tearing into that dead grand bear, right there in front of them. Gross. Miliana almost pukes. Everyone else is barely holding it together. Then it hits them. The other groups deeper in the forest. Probably screwed. You already know, every other group runs into blaze cons too. Nobody is ready for this level. Panic mode. They need a teacher now. Cut to the teachers, they're just as confused. Casualties everywhere. What is happening? Amidst all this chaos, one total psycho stands directly in front of a blaze con. fearless. Neil, he's laughing, staring the monster down. Asks if it really wants to fight him, not scared. Excited, cracks his knuckles. Everywhere else, students are running for their lives. Back to Louis, he's thinking. If monsters that shouldn't exist here suddenly appear. And here is the thing, something way more dangerous is happening behind the scenes. Right then, that senior hiding in the tree. He realizes a Blaze Kong sees him. Panic mode, he throws up soul armor, but he is terrified. Before he can even move, the Blaze Kong smashes him. One punch almost crushes him completely. The monster is about to stomp him flat. Then, bam, Louises appears. Kicks the Blaze Kong right in the face. Brutal. Sends the giant flying backward. Louis wastes zero time. He orders Kara and Miliana to grab the injured senior and run. Now, they move instantly, even while running. They beg Louis to escape too, but Louis tells them not to worry. He will catch up. That Blaze Kong Louis hit. It is furious now, humiliated. Tear rage, the creature opens its mouth, launches a huge fireball right at them. Louis yells for everyone to take cover. Dodge it. The flames are insane. Miliana and Kara barely survive the blast. Faye gets it, these Blaze Kongs are trying to kill them. Not just randomly attacking. Kane knows they have no choice, fight together or die. He uses wind magic, speeds himself up. Kane rushes the Blaze Kong, crazy fast, slashes with his dagger. It only injures the monster a little, but it works. Faye charges with her spear. Wounds the creature's arm, strikes again. Forces it to the ground. Kane watches, totally amazed by her strength. Faye follows up instantly. She activates her sacred spear technique. Unleashes Crescent Fall. It creates this tornado force aimed right at the Blaze Kong's heart. Looks like it worked. Nope. The creature snaps, sighs open. Faye realizes with horror it is using crystal magic to reinforce itself. Thinks she stops. Hell no. She attacks again with her sacred spear. Pierces right through its body. Boom. Violent eruption everywhere. She stands over the monster. Feeling proud she finally dropped it. Too soon. Kane screams at her to watch out. Faye turns around. The Blaze Kong is standing right over her. After everything she did, insane, it opens its mouth. Unleashes another devastating stream of fire right at her. At the absolute last second, Louis jumps in front, protects them both with an ice shield. Then he creates massive ice lances erupting from the ground. Traps the Blaze Kong in layers of freezing ice. Finally, a second to breathe. Faye thanks Louis. She still cannot understand how the Blaze Kong survived getting its heart pierced. Louis is barely listening. His full attention is fixed on the monster. He realizes the creature is prepping another fire breath attack. No hesitation. He pulls Faye away again just as the Blaze Kong explodes out of the ice lances. Brace yourself. The injuries from Kane and Faye heal instantly. Everyone just stares. They knew Blaze Kongs were aggressive, but this, nobody ever heard of regeneration like this. Insane. Louis watches it heal. Suddenly realizes something. This reminds him of Neil. Just like Neil, the creature grows stronger through pain, through battle itself. Cut to the forest. The teacher fights several Blaze Kongs at once, getting super frustrated. No matter how many times he hurts them, the monsters keep healing. Getting stronger, he knows immediately, something is deeply wrong with these things. At this rate, every student in the forest gets slaughtered. Back to the fight, Louis gets how bad this is. More and more Blaze Kongs surround them, every direction. Miliana and Kara struggle desperately, trying to defend themselves. Eventually they both get hurt. Nearby, that injured senior finally wakes up. No panic, just a sinister smile. In his mind, everything is going exactly to plan. Mission complete. Now he just lets these defective monsters finish Louis and the other commoners. The horrifying truth, this whole situation was the senior's plan from the start. Meanwhile, right in front of Louis, the Blaze Kongs get even more violent. Crazed. Kane cannot believe it. The monsters start using martial arcane armor techniques. Like trained fighters, they attack again. Louis desperately blocks. During the chaos, he realizes something terrifying. The Blaze Kongs are specifically targeting him. Nobody else. Suddenly, 1-8 creates an enormous fireball, almost the size of a small sun, aims it right at Louis. Right then, Every other blaze con surrounding him makes their own massive fireball. Faye and Kane immediately rush toward Louis. They desperately try to shield him from the incoming attacks. Next instant, a gigantic explosion erupts deep in the forest. You already know it hits with enough force to look like a nuclear blast. Watching the destruction from afar, that senior smiles. Mission accomplished, he thinks, but Louis is not someone who dies so easily. Right in the middle of the explosion, blue rays suddenly burst outward from the flames. Even the blaze cons stop, confused. They stare at the strange light emerging from the destruction. Moments later, a tornado erupts. It overwhelms the sea of flames surrounding the area. Faye and Kane immediately recognize that blue energy. They both realize at once Louis somehow survived that devastating attack. Insane. Not only does he survive it, but he emerges even more terrifying than before. Faye cannot believe it. Controlling mana over such a vast area purely through will. Only masters or higher should be capable of that. Kane finally gets it. Louis has been hiding his true strength this whole time. Back to Louis. Louis feels the strain spreading through his body. By accelerating mana circulation, he temporarily forces his body into master-level mana control. But the pressure and pain tearing through him are too much. He knows he will hit his limit soon. He has to end this battle right now. Louis decides to end it. He fires up his breathing technique and ice abilities. A massive tsunami of water explodes around him. The huge waves surge out. They completely swallow the blaze cons. Total panic. Then bam. The water instantly turns into countless sharp icicles. Louis steps forward. The frozen ground makes him terrifyingly fast. He rushes one ape. Hits it so hard it flies violently through the air. Another blaze con attacks instantly. Louis defends easy using axiom acceleration. Then he counterattacks to different apes at the same time. He is too fast. The monsters cannot track him anymore. 1 second he is right there. Next he is gone, striking somewhere else. But Louis is not just spamming attacks. Watch what happens next. He secretly makes a huge trigram pattern under the ground. Every blaze con is trapped at a point in the formation. He uses his ice to lock every single monster down. Then he jumps high, unleashes a brutal barrage of palm strikes, forcing all the trapped monsters deeper into the frozen formation. Brutal, the ice seals them together. Escape is impossible. Louis lands. He just stares at his creation. Suddenly, cracks spread across the massive frozen prison. Seconds later the whole thing shatters. Every blaze con inside breaks into countless pieces. Like a shattered construction set collapsing into fragments, the hidden senior watches from afar. He's furious. No mistake now. Louis survives again. He wins against impossible odds. Kane and Faye stare at the battlefield, totally amazed. Louis just annihilated an entire pack of blaze cons instantly. Brutal. Battle's over. Louis notices something strange. Wine and water mana respond to him more naturally. Almost like they're easier to control. He drops back to the ground. Kane congratulates him. He never imagined ice techniques had such terrifying power. Faye interrupts. Stop acting like love-struck idiots. They need to escape before another ambush. Louis agrees. Perfect time to retreat. The teachers finally decided to intervene directly. Not far away, the senior watches reinforcements arrive. Continuing his plan is impossible now. He thinks fast. He punches himself in the chest, heart, injures himself, collapses. He wants to look like another helpless victim. Principal Smith arrives. He orders every teacher to protect students and eliminate monsters. The group is stunned seeing the principal personally on the battlefield. The principal approaches Louis and his group, asks if they're safe. Kane explains they survived entirely because of Louis. Faye adds Louis defeated several masterclass blaze cons alone. Admits they would have died without him. Even the principal is puzzled. Defeating monsters that level alone is incredible. Louis tells him straight up, something feels deeply wrong about this whole mess. He shows the principal a frozen fragment from one of the blaze cons, trapped in ice. The principal examines it, immediately tells Louis and the others to get back to the academy. He will handle the rest personally. Fast forward a bit. Louis hits the academy market, walks into a shop. The shopkeeper tells him he racked up a huge number of points and academy credits after that mission. But she looks confused. He earned so much. Why is he still buying tons of mental recovery potions? She warns him, Overusing them could seriously wreck his body. Louis calmly says he knows the risks. Before he can say more, Kylie suddenly appears. Asks to speak privately for a second. She reveals the truth. Investigators examine the Blaze Kong corpses from the Academy incident. They found traces of alchemy, magical drugs, and artificial modifications inside the monsters. While that discovery proves Louis was right from the start. Someone deliberately orchestrated this entire incident. Kylie explains the principal suspects' enemy forces are behind everything. According to her, certain factions are getting impatient. His Majesty and Lady Miliana are both growing older, yet no successor is officially chosen for the throne because of that. Eliminating or controlling the children connected to important supporters, logical political move. The Academy holds enormous influence in the Northern Empire. Whichever side controls its future gains a major advantage. And here is the thing. Louis struggles to believe such horrifying events happen just because of a succession conflict. He still cannot ignore it. The Blaze Kong specifically targeted him in the fight. Kylie promises to keep investigating personally. She will help however she can. Before leaving, she tells him to get stronger. The principal clearly expects big things. Cut to after she leaves. Louis stares at the potion. He knows. He truly needs to get stronger. No hesitation. He downs the whole potion, mutters that this path is exactly what he always wanted. Then he thinks about his friends. The danger surrounding them all. Fast forward to somewhere else. The senior behind the attack reports to his father, modified monsters. He explains the experiment confirmed increased combat abilities, but the results fell short. Many modified monsters self-destructed. Still, the Academy recovered several corpses. If the principal uncovers the truth, they are in huge trouble. Think he is worried, the mastermind stays calm. He explains the subjects came from the Baton Empire. Even if the principal learns something, he cannot prove anything. And here is the thing. The man stares at Louis' picture. Who is this kid? The senior admits he has suspected Louis for a while. That terrifying presence around Louis is unmistakable. He thinks the principal is hiding the boy's real identity. Whatever the truth, they agree. Louis is becoming a dangerous obstacle. The villain calmly burns Louis' picture. Orders his son to deal with the problem now. The senior calls Louis a cursed child. Says he can bring complete destruction. Warns that if Louis keeps interfering near their secret weapon, everything they built collapses beyond repair. After hearing that, the villain orders his son, pass all info up to the Arcanist Association higher ranks. He thinks the association will gladly use rumors about this so-called cursed child. If the association learns this kid might be inside the academy, they will definitely investigate. In the villain's eyes, his enemy's enemy is a lie. The man behind the conspiracy is Prince Vaughn himself. The Duke leading the noble faction, also Brian's father. Fast forward. Louis heads to the training grounds. He keeps practicing meditation. Eyes completely closed. He still knows everything happening around him. Kane suddenly attacks from behind, hoping to catch him off guard. But Louis instantly senses it, blocks the attack easily. Not only does he defend perfectly, he also counters Kane's desperate strikes with his own attacks. Mid-exchange, another burst of power rushes directly at Louis. This time, it is the infamous Faye, who never holds back, even sparring with Franz. She throws herself into combat with complete intensity, just like before. Louis calmly reacts the moment the attack approaches. An ice shield instantly appears, blocks the strike. The rest of the group watches closely. They think they finally cornered him. Decisive blow incoming. Louis missed something this time. Right? Miliana knows better. He saw through the whole setup. She is totally right. Louis calmly steps out of the dust cloud. He compliments his friends, no criticism. He praises Kane. Faster, sharper. He mastered those hit-and-run tactics they practiced. Then he compliments Faye. Her spear techniques have more power now. Adapted from her unarmed style. Most importantly, he praises Miliana. Cleverly hiding Karara's item in the mud. Great strategy. Louis is genuinely happy. They got stronger and faster so quickly. He tells them something. If his cold sense did not pick up the abnormality, their coordinated attack could have overwhelmed him instantly. Kane still looks irritated. The praise does not matter. All of them together still failed to reach Lassie. He points it out. Louis escaped without a scratch. Proves none of them can catch up. Faye is fascinated. Louis' strange ability to sense movements. He calls it cold sense. She never heard of anything like it. Louis explains, the technique relies on mind and mana circulation. He is still researching it, refining it himself. He promises to teach her, once she understands the principles. Future training sessions. While they talk, Miliana hands Louis a recovery potion. Right then, Faye tries to sneak in another punch, misses again. Miliana watches, saying Louis feels almost abnormal sometimes, like he doesn't belong in this world. Louis nearly spits out his potion. Nervous, he wipes his mouth, asking why she'd say that. Miliana explains, Louis just shares his knowledge and techniques so freely. Most people guard that stuff, keep it in the family. She jokes he must have learned this in another life. Louis awkwardly scratches his head, laughs, maybe it's just growing up common, different from nobles. He says their group teaches each other anyway. It'd be amazing if they all got stronger together. One team. Faye finally says, it's time to head back. Martial arts classes tomorrow. She warns Kane and Louis not to sneak off causing trouble. Kane teases her. Soon, the whole group leaves, joking around. Louis stays behind alone, looks in his bag. Almost out of recovery potions again. Needs to exchange for more soon. He's about to drink one. Kylie suddenly appears, stopping him. She immediately asks why he is taking another one. He just drank a mental recovery potion yesterday, she reminds him. Chugging those potions constantly will turn his brain into mush. Her words make Louis think deeply. Everything weighs on his shoulders. He remembers his promise to his mother. He will become a grandmother one day. He must gain ownership of the orphanage, take it from the association. Use that power to protect everyone important to him. Powerful enemies are targeting him directly now. He must grow stronger, no matter what. You already know he is determined. He quietly insists he is careful, he will be fine. In his mind, these potions allow him to double his training endurance. Unlike others, he cannot take things slowly. Kylie looks at him seriously. Is he truly certain about that? Louis regains energy from the potion. Suddenly, Kylie stiffens inside her armor. She senses an unusually powerful aura surging around him. Louis is confused. Did he do something strange earlier? For some reason his mana flows far more smoothly now. Think he knows why. Kylie struggles to respond. She does not fully understand what she senses. Just as she is about to say something, she notices the empty potion bottles scattered nearby. Lots of them. Instantly, irritation flashes across her face. Louis drank all of them himself. Busted. Embarrassment appears on Louis's face. Kylie angrily explains, she checked the exchange records. This is the 8th time this month he exchanged for more potions. That is at least 2 every single day. Louis argues back, he wants grandmother status fast. This is his only option. Plus, no side effects yet. Kylie shuts that down. Grandmother is not easy. He needs real foundational training, not relying on drugs to push past limits. She warns him, you might not feel it yet. Those potions will turn your insides to mush. Kylie grabs his hand. Right now, they are doing an magic potion exam. Checking for damage, Kylie drags Louis for a blood test. Louis lets them test his blood in a special potion. The principal inspects it personally. He studies the results. The principal realizes something. This is weird. 0 signs of potion erosion in Louis's brain. Actually, the opposite. His brain is more active than ever. Kylie protests. Louis is acting totally abnormal. He gets absent-minded, and earlier, monstrous energy poured out of him. Terrifying killing intent. Even she felt unsettled. The principal admits it. Her concerns are valid. But here is the thing. Louis's magic power actually went up. It did not drop, so Principal Smith wonders. Is this some special enlightenment just for Louis? Another thought hits him. Could this be related to the cursed child traits? That thought makes the principal even more curious. He asks Louis to explain everything in detail. The talk keeps going. The principal starts talking about enlightenment. The origin of magic power, how the goddess rules magic. He questions if humans and monsters should even have this power. After thinking hard, the principal concludes something. The world is full of strange mysteries, nobody understands them fully. He thinks they should just call this unexplained for now. Do not rush to conclusions, Kylie still argues. Something is definitely wrong inside Louis. The principal stays firm. He starts walking away. But after a few steps, he stops, he turns back to her. He explains alchemy and magical potions research is incomplete, they are still studying it. Nobody fully understands how these potions affect the human body, at Louis's weird condition, and it is even more confusing. Kylie argues back. Maybe Louis is hiding other secrets too. Cut to Louis. Louis listens quietly, he thinks carefully. He realizes the alchemy here just fuses materials in their natural state. That probably makes certain parts clash. So he thinks if you remove the junk, create a super pure potion instead, then you can pinpoint exactly what's causing the bad side effects. Fast forward to the next day, Principal gathers Kylie and Louis again. Louis is pumped. Principal got him tons of materials, supplies, so fast. Kylie looks at all the bottles, ingredients, asks what Louis plans to do with all this. Principal never makes potions this weirdly. Louis just tells her to wait, she get it soon enough. No time wasted, he starts working immediately. Long time experimenting, refining materials, finally creates 3 separate potions. Declares it the success. Principal stares, total disbelief. Louis successfully extracted every single component from the original mix. Right then, Principal knows Louis has divine level talent. He's so excited, asks Louis if he'd ever seriously study magical potions under him. Tells Louis with talent like this, he could lead potion studies someday. Maybe even surpass Lady Million herself. Principal genuinely believes it. Louis respectfully says studying under the principal would be an incredible honor. He'd gladly learn. Hearing that makes the principal proud. The two start bonding, shared passion for knowledge, research. Kylie clearly hates seeing them bond. Later that night, Louis keeps studying magic theory alone. He's thinking hard about his potions. He realizes the magical energy inside them comes from the ingredients themselves. Potions come from plants. Plants need soil and water to grow. He connects the dots. Earth and water mean life. Then, it hits him hard. Right then, the table in front of him violently reacts. Kylie stares, totally shocked. This weirdness again? Louis hits another moment of enlightenment. Instantly, massive vines and roots spread wildly through the room. The principal watches, completely stunned. Enormous trees and forests emerge across the giant chamber. No way potion power could do this. Louis calmly explains creation's true power isn't grand or destructive. It's just giving moisture to the soil, nourishing life, letting new growth sprout naturally. Louis declares this power the wood element. Kylie looks totally lost. Wood element? Louis just raises a finger. A beautiful flower blooms right there. Kylie reaches for it, curious. Then the flower releases dangerous pollen, ready to attack. She cannot react fast enough. Redness spreads across her hand. Then, vines around the room turn monstrous. They attack her directly. Furious, Kylie unleashes her fire element. She destroys the vines. Brutal, the struggle leaves her with minor injuries. But fighting them off, Kylie realizes something terrifying. Louis creates new plant life with magic. He also controls them offensively. His abilities evolve insanely fast. Louis calmly replies, creating plants is not even the wood element's true strength. Its greatest power is somewhere else. Healing. Hearing math, the principal realizes something huge. If Louis is right, recovery potions and healing bombs might actually come from the wood attribute. Louis agrees. The possibility is extremely high. He explains the difference, ordinary plants versus magical potions. It is all about elemental properties, and here is the thing. The principal gets excited. Composite elements, potions, alchemy, they might all be connected. Because of this discovery, he tells Louis he will personally provide all potion materials for future research. Louis sincerely thanks him. The principal just laughs, no need for gratitude. If Louis keeps making discoveries like this, he will probably end up doing all the exhausting work later anyway. But before the conversation ends, Principal Smith asks one last question. Strength alone is just part of it. You want to change fate, you already know. Complicated truths wait beyond strength. Cut to the forest. Louis activates his new wood element. Life bursts from the ground. Principal Smith is shocked. Again, no matter how many times he sees this, it feels wrong. Valuable plants growing so fast, effortlessly. Louis can grow them anywhere. He can even make food fast, but Louis explains it eats magic power. More valuable plant, more magic needed. Because of that limit, this is his maximum output right now. Principal Smith is still happy. Everything has a price. The real difference is how that price compares. Louis' cost is way lower than normal. Principal Smith says Louis purify potions, reducing side effects, developing new potions with attribute magic, extraordinary. Only Louis can do this. Nobody else. Fast forward, they leave the forest. Check this out. They built a whole laboratory inside an underground cave system at Candria Arcanist Academy. In this hidden spot, they make special recovery potions, mana restoration potions, body enhancement potions, mental recovery potions. All part of the experiments. Principal Smith picks up a new one. Decides it is time to test side effects directly. He says if Louis wants to get stronger fast, fighting strong opponents is the best training. So he suggests testing the potions through combat. Between them, Louis gets excited immediately. Perfect opportunity, no hesitation. He tells the principal not to hold back, drinks the potion. Prepares to fight the principal himself. Battle breaks out. Brutal. Kylie watches stunned. She thinks Louis is a total monster, maybe not evil, but monstrous capability and growth. Fast forward. Louis returns to his room, showers, reflects on the fight. Principal Smith did not hold back at all. Seriously, without those new potions, he would be bedridden for a month. The damage was that bad. Resting now. He thinks about new potions, how to improve. Guess who is in his room when he enters? Kara, staring at an empty potion bottle. Louis is surprised, slightly nervous. Kara calmly asks what the bottle is. Louis quickly lies. Louis lies, says Principal Smith gave it to him for safety. Part of some approved potion technique. Kara does not believe that for a second. He walks straight at Louis. Louis gets super nervous. Thinks he's caught. Then Kara drops a bomb. He knows Louis created the potion. Louis denies it fast. Baseless accusation. But man, he is a terrible liar. He gives up. Admits the truth. How did Kara figure it out? Kara watched the principal closely. Subtle reactions, behavior, deduced everything. Louis gets uneasy. Kara is too perceptive. He begs him not to tell anyone, wants to avoid trouble. Right then, Kara pulls out a contract. Louis reads it. The terms are actually good. Dilute the potions before selling. Avoids drawing attention. Kara puts the potion in a container. Louis must let the trading company handle distribution, keep his identity hidden. Louis gets profit too. Win-win. Louis realizes something. With Kara's support, he gets resources and protection, keeps researching freely. Good offer. But he insists on two conditions. First, weaken the potion effects before selling, prevent complications. Second, the trading company must support his old orphanage. Kara takes both conditions, no problem. She writes them in, hands the contract back to Louis. They both sign. Done deal, new partners. Louis leaves, says he'll make more potions tomorrow, needs sleep. Kara watches him go, then heads to her own dorm. But wait, they split up. And then, two assassin pigeons sneak into the dorms. They try to jump Kara from behind. Stealthy. Sure, but Kara reacts instantly, blocks them. One intruder is pissed, confused too. She got in totally silent. How did she miss? The other one apologizes fast, urgent, info only, then they vanish. And here's the thing, Kara's actually a girl. Disguised to attend the academy, she gives the contract to her two apprentices. They're lost. Why make this huge deal just for Louis? One says if this works, their company blows up. Top tier in the East. The other apprentice is impressed too. But how does a kid like Louis come up with this? Kara knows Louis has insane potential. Apprentices ask, what if Louis betrays us, supports another heir? Kara says that's exactly why she needs them. She's taking control of the orphanage. Louis is a good guy. He deserves protection. Orders given. The apprentices turn